It is Saturday night. You know what that means. It's time for another episode of Modern Comic Mayhem. Tonight with me, I've got Kyle. I've got the most hated man in Star Wars, Marco, and I've got Solo Wookie. Let's get this party started. Welcome, everyone. It is Modern Comic Mayhem Saturday night. How's everyone going? How's everyone doing tonight?
Still doing good. Hey, when we figure out how to unmute mics, that's when you're gonna know we made it, dude.
Right, that's how we make the big.
We're gonna get it then. We're gonna get it.
I'm not used to StreamYard automatically muting my mic. It's hard to get used to because I'm not used to using StreamYard like that because we didn't use that at Absolute Geek. But it wouldn't be the Absolute Geek crew if we didn't have some sort of technical difficulty starting a show.
That's what makes it fun.
But you know, Modern Comic. Why did it do that? Okay. Hold on. That's what I meant to put up. There we go. Drinking game code. You know what to do. If you guys are in the chat and you want to have a good time tonight, scan that QR code, get those drinking game code words, and let's have a good time.
Hey, we are not sorry for the guy that sent in the complaint about how we got him too drunk because he was following the drinking words. It's not planned. The three of us don't even know what's going on. Blame it all on Kyle. All right. And also, hey, I'm a big whiskey drinker. I usually go through a bottle of these a show, but at the bottom line is pace yourself. Add a little water. Mix it with something if you have to. Nobody's going to judge, dude. It's okay. But don't send us the email complaining that we got you all messed up and the wife put you on the couch. We don't need any more of those. I'm already getting enough trouble as is. I don't need those emails. All right.
Look, we've already said all complaint emails can be sent courtesy to Brian McClay at talesfromtheflipside.com.
Yeah.
That's where all those complaint emails go.
I get one more strike. I think I'm out, bro. That's all I'm saying. So Gonzo, knock it off.
I don't even see him in the chat yet. He's not even. You might be good.
He's coming. All right.
Yeah, he's warming up. He's in the dugout. He's like typing just mad keys.
Yeah,
he just got notifications, so he's getting ready.
That's my boy. Between him and Darth Lopez, they got it covered. What do we got going on this week, Matt? Actually, we got something exciting because I want to talk about it.
We do. We have something exciting. I know to you, Marco, and probably a lot of our listeners out there.
You mean
got a little confirmation from good old Brian K. Vaughn.
That's my buddy.
Wow, yeah. Nice suit there, Solo.
I know.
My 6870 leisure suit. Go WandaVision. That's I figured I'd dress the part for WandaVision tonight. So I got my quad pocket leisure suit on and
pocket.
Little 70s brown stripe going.
Is that what you ordered at Starbucks?
Yeah. A little R2D2 tie action.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Should change your name to Stylo Wookie.
Fancy Wookie.
That's right.
We did finally get that. There's been a lot of rumors with the Brian K. Vaughn stuff and the Saga coming back. I mean, I've obviously
the 3 years Saga hiatus.
Yeah. Oh, we're just right. The rumor was that they were just trying to do it all so they could just push it out at one time. There'd be no more delays. That was in year 1. And then year 2, it was like, well, the only thing they could say is, yeah, we're really working hard on it so that we can push it out. But you never really got it from him. There was one interview he did where he said that and they just kept replaying it. Well, it finally came out because he was doing a GoFundMe for who was he doing a GoFundMe? Do you remember who he's doing the GoFundMe for? I can't remember offhand. I was more excited about the Saga news I did. And I saw Alan Moore, and I really didn't care about the Alan Moore stuff. I was like, Saga, why would you tell us any of this? But at the end of it, he gave us a PS about, hey, it really is coming there. We're working as hard as we can.
We mean it this time.
Yeah, we do mean it. So there you go. That's his thing. So he's like, if you give all your money and the GoFundMe for the Bob Fund, I'll release a script that I have so I can share it with everybody. It's an Alan Moore script.
It's an Alan Moore unreleased Gen 13 script.
Yeah,
what it is.
I'm excited about that. I know people are, though. I mean, that's cool. Just mocking X-Men is a good time. Gen 13 is great. But with that being said, the PS is the best because he finally does confirm that it's coming out sooner than later. Thank the Lord. I think we've been waiting forever for this. I mean,
Fucking Saga, finally.
that's one of the best. Obviously, that's one of my favorite reads of all time. Like that series is great. I remember when it first came out, and they were trying to sell it like we have all these pages for $2.99, and you didn't even have to sell it like that. I think everybody was just buying it for the storyline. And once you got out to like what was it, 12, where they had the Apple banned it for a little bit because of too much sexual stuff going on the TV. We don't want to get banned from YouTube, I guess, so we're not going to perform the action or show the action which occurred on Mr. Robot. But either way, or on Prince Robot, but either way, it's going. And it has been a cliffhanger, so I think it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? So if for those people who forgot what happened, Marco, the husband to Alana and the mother of Hazel, kind of one of the main characters in there. At the last screen shows him getting stabbed by the will. And Hazel kind of said something to the effect that not everybody lives. And you also saw that Prince Robot's head was decapitated too. So like they just took out two of the main characters in the book. And you're like, oh man, what's going to happen? And then it's been a 3-year hiatus.
I know what happened. He said, fuck it. I'm going to go write fucking Paper Girls.
Yeah, he's already writing Paper Girls at that time. It wasn't that bad, but whatever. So, I mean, it's really cool. I just wonder, like, you know, there's always that diamond retailer incentive. You know which one I'm saying, Matt? And the A cover obviously does well. There's like 4 prints of the covers. Yeah. So the diamond's the one on the right here. And,
Rare.
you know,
Rare.
yeah, that's actually a pretty rare book.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're going still, isn't it? Going for round 3, 4, somewhere around there.
No,
and the other one,
I think they're even higher than that now. I think a 9.8.
I think 9.8s are probably around 3 to 4. I think they're probably 3 or 4K. While you're looking at like the regular cover going for like 350 to 450, somewhere around there, which is kind of cool. The one that I really like though is they've actually got the variant of this. There's a Spanish variant or Mexican variant of this. It's a silver variant. Comes in like a polybagish type thing. It's really cool. It's pretty cheap too, like $20, but you're seeing movement in this. I was talking to some of the foreign guys earlier and I was like, hey, they re-announced Saga and they go, we know, because we've had a lot of people ask us for link to find the silver variant, which is the Mexican variant, which is kind of cool. It's the same as the cover. Yeah, there you go. It's the same as the cover A. This doesn't do it justice. If you see it with a sticker on it, that's good. Don't worry about it because that means it's still in the poly bag, which is probably how you want it, or not really a poly bag, but it's still bagged, which is kind of how you probably want it. Means they haven't touched it or taken it out, and you can definitely get some thumbprints on it. I have seen a couple 9.8s come out of there, which anything foreign, you're kind of always gambling on it, but don't take my word for it. Go talk to people like Rob or Matt and John Z and ask them about it. But like getting stuff shipped.
Not this Matt. Don't ask me anything. I don't know anything.
But getting that stuff out of other countries, especially through shipping and everything else, can be a bit of a challenge. This is definitely kind of a cool cover to go after with the, this isn't like a huge TV spec, movie spec thing. I don't think Brian said it before. He doesn't really see this as optioning. It's one of those classic runs that when it gets all said and done, that it's gotten a lot of people I knew back into comics and independent comics, and it really got people hyped, and people are trying to full run collect this. So I don't think it's going to come under the radar much when one comes out, but you never know. Like, you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes some of these things are weird, how people miss these books coming out. So keep an eye out for it. Hopefully we'll get it within the next year. I doubt it, but I hope we do, man. I really hope we do. Anyways, what else we got?
What was the print run of Saga? The Saga
a crap ton. A crap ton. Yeah, the number 1 wasn't so bad, but then they had like 4. So what the 4th print is the lettering. Show me the first print again so I can remember what the 4th print is. Okay, so the lettering on Saga for the 4th print is, I think, black letters, and inside it's clear. There's a blue lettered one, and I can't remember what the last variation of it, but they definitely did 4 runs on it. Now, obviously, when we say a lot, I'm talking a lot for an Image title. We're talking like 65K overall between the prints, probably, maybe a little bit less. I don't know. I didn't look at the Chromicon. I'm not talking like 100,000, 200,000. That would be ridiculous. But it's definitely up there for that type of run. The Diamond one, though, that's tough. It's just tough. That's a tough book to get. And it's absolutely cool. Fiona did a great job on it. There is a couple other variants that they have running around that look dope. But between this one And probably, I guess, the other main key in this run would be the Apple book, because issue number 12, because that was the one, if you recall, the Apple wouldn't let you download it, and it caused a big stink. And then they wanted it edited. And that actually, I know this book was pretty popular when it first came out, but when that Apple thing happened, Saga went nuclear because it made all the news cycles and there wasn't a lot of news going on at that point. So then everybody had to see what the series was about. Then you started seeing fourth prints of like 1. Then you saw number 2, I think, went into third print. Number 3 went into third print, I think. You just started to see a lot more third and fourth prints of this book overall. It did a lot better than I think people thought it was going to do. And it should. I mean, it's a great story. It's cool. They do Space Odyssey. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Space Odyssey. This is a little bit more adult than the Star Wars stuff would probably be. But with that being said, and they also have like the magic element to it. Across the board, it's a good book. It's a good read if you haven't read it. But it's coming back, so that's good news. Let's see what happens with the books. I think people will, it's been an awful lot of people's radars lately, but stayed steady price-wise. So let's see what it does when it gets reintroduced.
You do love your Space Odyssey. What's that? Spock, isn't that your favorite character? Or maybe Kirk? Captain Kirk.
I think it's Kirk.
He's
It's
the one you like,
definitely,
right?
it's definitely Tiberius.
So Comic Talk Weekly is asking about the Spanish number 1. They're in the number 1 regular cover. There's also the Mexican variant, like we showed in the silver, which is pretty dope. I mean, I really do like the silver one. And honestly, I think that's a $20 book. If you can get it for $20, I'm avoiding what you idiots are talking about down there. 5 prints, I think. Was it 5? Patrick says he thinks it went to 5 prints. He might be right. I thought it was somewhere over there, 4 or 6, but whatever. Could have gone to 5.
4, 6, 5. It's all the same.
It's all at that point. It's all getting to be the same.
After 3, it's a run-on sentence.
Did anybody else read this? Is anybody else caught up to date on this, or is it just me with this thing?
No, it's been 3 years.
I've had a little time.
No, I mean,
It's been 3 years.
did you stop? You guys read it at one point though, right? Or no?
Yeah,
I never read it.
I've reread it in the last. Well, I guess now it's a new year, so close to the last year.
That's because he finally just bought the trades for it.
I know. What?
No, I do own the
comic
trade.
book? No.
No, I bought the big hardcover books, and since I bought them, I was like, all right, I'll read it again.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, I think it's right that you're not going to be able to cinematically see most of the stuff we kind of talked about earlier, that there's just too much. Like, it's just too much. It's good, but it's too much. So
Is it too much?
Comic Talk Weekly says all 52 issues and 1 trade paperback, pretty cheap to get caught up.
Ooh,
that's cool. That's what you should
I
get.
might have to look into that. I'm not going to get into it now, though.
The other big news we had coming out of this week is the announcement of the end of Venom. Donniek Cates is leaving the book after issue 200, and he has confirmed that is it. He's done. He's not writing this character anymore. He is moving on. Where do you see Donniek Cates taking his talents to? You see him staying on Thor and doing his creator-owned stuff, or do you see him taking over another big-time Marvel book?
He's got to do another Marvel book.
Yeah,
He's going. I guarantee he's fucking locked in for.
I think he's going to do FF.
Think so? You think he's going to hit the Fantastic Four, huh?
I don't know. He could.
I mean, I guess if you're reading it, I mean, it's all intertwined with it.
Like, if you're Marvel, isn't that what you do? I mean, even if you put him on something else, right? Yeah, if he maybe Spider-Man too, but like if you have him doing that, wouldn't you like him to revive one more big character or characters like Fantastic Four, something that's been in hiatus for so long that they need something big to happen there? Bring him back through that, and even do 8, and then come over and do the Spider-Man stuff and finish off Spider-Man runs.
If I was the owner and CEO or whatever at Disney, that's what I'd want, because now that Disney has acquired a lot of those rights for that stuff and they're talking production movie stuff down the road, I probably want to rehype that and get some good new stories and books out and sell that and get that hyped back up before I start pumping a bunch of movies.
I mean, could you
or whatever?
Patrick thinks he goes to Spidey.
I don't think. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think that's pretty
Matt
close.
doesn't think he's going to Spidey though.
I don't think he's going to Spidey.
He said that's his dream, is to go do a Spider-Man, and I think he said Amazing Spider-Man, but I could be misquoting.
I don't think he goes to Spidey because that's kind of, I don't know. I kind of see that as a lateral move, going from Venom to Spidey. You're going from like I guess you could say one of the main villains back to the main hero. I think he moves on. Fantastic Four is an interesting thought. I mean, I think there's a fantastic Four. I couldn't think of I can't think of anything else I'd like to see him run right now, but I don't think he goes Spidey.
Do you think he gets off Thanos? Because if you're gonna move, like how he did Guardians and he did Doctor Strange and then he did Thanos and he did those moves. He did Guardians and Strange then Guardians, then moving Thor, and then he went over to Venom. So like, do you think he's gonna do a double move too and see if somebody else can hold down Thor for a while? Should be about that time.
Well, and I don't know that stuff. Because he's doing crossover still too, isn't he?
He's gonna go do stuff with DC. I don't think he is, because isn't he exclusive to Marvel? He's got like that one of those weird exclusive contracts where he's exclusive to Marvel but can still do his own creator-owned stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he's going to DC. I know Spencer has not been well received. His run on Spidey, even though I'm loving it, has not been well received overall. So Spidey wouldn't shock me. I just don't think Spidey is where he goes. He's kind of got this cosmic thing going, right?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of feeling too.
I'm thinking maybe Silver Surfer. Maybe Silver Surfer gets a relaunch and a standalone title.
He already did Silver Surfer.
I know he had Silver Surfer Black, but he did do Silver Surfer.
Yeah, Black.
The Black, but with that being said, he could do that if he moved off. I think you'd have to move him off both for that. You have to give him a major title, right?
I forgot about Silver Surfer Black.
So I mean, what major title? That's why I think FF, because what major title is in the most need of help?
Yeah,
and something that he could pump up to make good, and that's one of them. FF is probably.
And you're not far off, Matt. I mean, if he goes into Fantastic Four, he can start tapping into the Galactus and Silver Surfer and all that, and tie that all back together, like he alluded to doing whatever long ago when he was talking about doing all that and making the cosmic universe.
Yeah. As I said, do you think he's just tired of writing all these books for Marvel, and he's like, I'm just going to drop this and just move forward with Thor and.
No, he likes the paycheck.
I think he likes the attention too.
Yeah.
I think he likes the attention too.
Money and having top selling books. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're saying is
I'm trying to make a lot of money with Marvel. I'm just going to tone it down a bit,
right?
But he finishes Thor, George. I think that's the thing. George said he still has to finish up Black Winter. Yeah, sure, but like when he finishes that, what's he going to do? Because he does like to move on. He doesn't like to stay too long for stuff. So.
Well, there's more he's going to go after King in Black is done with Thor, because there's already more tease there. But you're already kind of starting to see, if you read the new issue King in Black, we'll get into it later. He's already kind of tying all three of his runs together. Mm-hmm. All three of his runs are starting to finally collapse in on each other and tie into each other. So who knows where he's gonna go next? But
there you go. Lopez has a great point. What if he throws everyone for a loop and goes over to Star Wars or Doctor
Aphra? Joking. Stop that. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Everyone's just like, we saw it. Fantastic.
I don't want him to
Star
do
Wars.
that.
He goes and he makes the ultimate Luke Skywalker run. It makes Marco cry.
I actually honestly, I like how Luke is portrayed in the comics. They do a really good job with a lot of his storylines in the comics. If you haven't been reading it, like even when they brought him back, the Boba Fett almost blowing him up when he was looking for Obi-Wan's journals, that type of stuff. Then when he came back, even in the Kylo Ren book, when he was in that Kylo Ren book, he was fighting off the Knights of Ren. That was really cool. That was a great scene when he went to the temple and all. But so I mean, they've done already a good job with him. A lot of people have in the comics. I don't know if you're going to do a Luke Skywalker run, but whatever.
Gates is going to do it.
I know people keep saying in the chat he teased Spidey on IG about a week ago, but isn't that kind of Donnie Cates' thing? He likes to kind of light fires and start his own speculation and kind of toot his own horn and get his own stock up. And
hey, John's got it too. Like, what if he does do a short mini, because he likes to do that? What if he does a mini on Doc Doom standalone series and then tailors that into FF? That would be kind of cool. I think. I don't know.
That'd be a great way to do it.
I hope so. I got some DD he could sell too.
The consensus, at least of the fantastic MCM chat, is that they want to see him on SpiderMan. So
I think that makes the most sense. Cosmic creates. Look at Colin. Yeah, this is what he's gonna do. He's gonna create the cosmic layer.
So what do you put him on though? Do you put him on ASM? Do you put him on SpiderMan? Do you put him on Ultimate Spider-Man? Do you put him on?
He's gonna make Leia flying through space make sense. God damn it!
I mean, what Spider-Man? There's so many Spider-Man titles. What do you put them on?
I think he goes.
I hope he does the journals of Peter Parker. Dear journal. Dear
All
journal.
right.
Oh, Mary Jane.
Today it was
Changing in the window.
swinging through the city, and there was a girl changing. I swung back. There was no crime in the area.
My little
I just
spider
wanted
suit
to
got
make
a
sure.
little bit tighter.
On that note, we had a couple guys just show up in the back and backstage. I think we're going to introduce them here in a little bit. You guys are terrible, man.
Spidey love.
Fell asleep with that. ASM would
What?
be bigger. Go
I shot an extra web that night.
Matt, please, if we could. We got two guys to introduce. They've been on this channel a couple times before. James and Jonathan from Hive Comics. Fellas, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
Hey, we saw some we saw some very impressive covers lately that you guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we pull this up, Matt, real quickly? Give everybody a little bit of a screenshot. Put us to the side so we can see it. That is really dope. Oh my god, that Berserker Warrior's looking. That's good.
Yeah,
He's
we've been
packed
waiting
in the package area.
What's that?
We've been waiting forever to get a release that cover. We've had that
Jesus.
OA for a couple months.
Yeah, I know you guys have been hinting at it. It came out. Hey, it's awesome, dude. It's really.
Super awesome.
How many pockets does he have? How many pockets does he have, though?
That's Keanu Deadpool is what that is. Look at all that pockets and bombs and guns and knives. Like that is dope.
It's like he's got a sock in his pants.
Yeah.
He's just happy to be on the cover.
It's a great cover. So when does this come out? When do we get to finally? We've been teased this for the longest of times. Give us a little promo. Give us a little rundown. When does this come out? When can we start buying this?
Want to tell them? We can tell them, right? Yeah, tell them. Yeah, we'll tell you guys. We've been keeping it. This will be the first. We've announced a release date and time. We haven't.
Nice.
We've been keeping everybody on their toes for this, but.
I thought you were going to tell us now. We got to wait. This is good. All right, there we go.
The release will be this Saturday. This upcoming Saturday, we'll do it at 4 p.m. Eastern, which has kind of become our standard release time. So yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern this coming Saturday, the 30th? The 30th. 30th. It releases on shelves February 24th. Yeah.
All right, nice. And what's it going to run for? If we online, what are we looking at price point for this?
Just $19.99. We didn't want to gouge on it, but no, these certain publishers, it's a little more expensive to do work with.
Right.
As phenomenal as he is, he's not cheap. So this was for us to do, but we did it because we believed in this book. I think it's just too cool to not do a cover for, right?
Right.
And this will be Victor Garduno's first published comic cover too.
Yeah.
It looks like he killed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
did.
killed it.
Yeah. There's a lot of good covers out there.
Yeah.
I'm partial to ours, but
No. Yeah, when I saw it, I was just blown away because I know you guys have been teasing it and kind of I saw some other type of theories of what covers were going to look like. Then when this one came out, the red background with the the whole war going on in the background, and it just has him popping, which was pretty dope. But you guys do pretty good on most of your covers, right? Like it's so impressive how much time and how much effort is getting into some of these variants. I remember when it was just like pretty much cheap swipes. Well, we're going to talk about swipes later on today, but like I remember how it was like cheap swipes for the longest time. That's what a lot of the variants were. And like to see actual like original art or cool art come out. And then, I mean, it's just nice to finally have cool covers that people want to go after.
Yeah.
Now, how did you find him to do it?
We had a buddy that mentioned to us months and months ago. Was like, hey, check this dude's stuff out. It's pretty good. So we took a look into it, and I hit him up. It took weeks of back and forth to kind of talk to him more about the comic stuff. He hadn't really, he hadn't done it before, so he didn't know how it worked or anything like that. So he had a lot of questions, which is good. So it took some time of like talking to him and figuring out when he could fit our project in, because he does commissions 24/7. I mean, the guy's constantly doing commissions and selling prints. He's got a really tight schedule, so it was hard to get us in. But luckily, we got approved for this book 6 months ago. So we had time. And he sent us away, and we submitted away 3.5 months ago. Yeah, we found him. Somebody hit us up and said, "Hey, check this guy out," and we fell in love with his work immediately.
Dang, that's cool.
What? So do you give him an idea, or you just say, "Fuck it, show me something badass," or did you guys have like a rough idea what you wanted to see?
With this one, no, not really. We usually do. We usually have a bit of input with the artists, just some ideas thrown out there with like Gallagher and Maria Key and I don't know Peach when we were doing books with Peach. There's some ideas out there, but with Victor, it was like after we got done like talking to him about the whole process, he was kind of like, "Oh, I got an idea." Like just
that makes it easy.
Yeah,
But is that scary also? Like, I mean, like when you have an art, because he's not really giving you many options, is he? Can you walk us through that? Like, so he just said, "Hey, I'm doing this," and then you get one option, or did you get 2 or 3 options, or it was over after one?
he gave us rough. He did a rough draft on a digital rough draft to kind of do some basic layouts for us. And we got the concept and thought it was cool, so we told him to just run with it. But I mean, it took him a month to paint this. It's not, it's not digital. It's not done in pen and ink. It's, dude does oil painting and Copic markers and colored pencils. I mean, he crosses the whole field. So I mean, that's a month's worth of work to do that piece. So once he got going on it, about halfway through, it was kind of that, like, there ain't no turning back at that point. So, but we had a lot of faith in him to produce something amazing, and I think he pulled it off.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think he did too. I think this is when we all saw it, we were like, wow. We couldn't believe that is what it was.
I can't wait to order it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Saturday's just not going to come quick enough.
What else?
Being a new guy, how do you can you guys lock guys in? How do you guys work on like keeping an artist around or making them more just kind of your exclusive cover guy, or do you guys go that route?
Not necessarily. I mean, so we've done some work with Stan Yak. You guys seen like his Turtles Last Ronin cover.
Yeah, Last Ronin. Yep.
I've been working with Stan for 1.5 to 2 years, talking all the time. So he's just kind of there. Nobody else has been asking him to do covers. It blows my freaking mind. So it's like, all right, well, we'll hoard him. You know what I mean? Like he'll message me and be like, "Hey, you got any work for me?" Like, we'll find something, dude. We'll find something. Sure.
So what's he doing next for you?
Stan?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Proctor Valley Road.
Oh man, they already know. So he does have stuff already coming out. Dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and then he's still doing Turtles for us.
Yeah, he's doing the last 3, 4, and 5 for Last Ronin for us. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He'll have a yak set,
Oh, that's awesome.
That's just, it's nice that you guys can keep around. How much do you worry though that like somebody like that, because you've built a good relationship, right? I think what he's asking is, you think he's going to stay the whole run for you guys, or have you had that happen before where somebody just comes in and swipes out the artist that you thought was going to keep doing a couple covers for you, or have you been lucky to, like, obviously you're lucky with Yak, you've built a good relationship with him where he's not going anywhere, but
we had an experience with Peach when we did. I had done Mercy, and we did Sleeping Beauties 1, and we did No Heroin 1, 2, and 3. We had all those lined up, and then she blew the hell up. Everybody wanted to do it, so there were a bunch of other retailers that pretty much said, "Okay, hey, we want you to do 25 covers for us the rest of this year." And an artist, most of the time, an artist is going to go where all that big money is.
Oh yeah,
which sucks. But we haven't had trouble really keeping artists. I mean, we've had an experience where an artist had told us they were going to do a certain amount of covers for us, and then after the first one was finished, backed out on the last couple, which we just won't ever work with that. We just won't ever work with that person again.
Oh
Yeah, it's gotta be.
So are you constantly looking for artists? Like you're bouncing? I mean, like do you have like secret honey holes that you guys have that people don't like? That you have like this pool that you could go to and pluck people out, or is it just word of mouth? Or
you know what? Honestly, I find them personally. I find them on Facebook, and because I'm looking at all sorts of artist pages and art groups, and let's see, we got who is Ivan Dow. You guys heard of him?
Yep.
Picked him up to do a cover for us the other day. Kind of a quick, like, oh, hey, we need this in like 7 days, dude. And he was like, cool, all right.
Really?
But, yeah. Luckily, he had some openings, you know.
That's
but
nice.
But like Maria Key, you guys have seen. She did our By the Horns cover.
Yep.
She's doing Cult of Dracula 1 through 6 for us. The one we've already shown. But with Maria, we had actually decided, like, hey, she's doing unbelievable work and nobody's asking her to do anything. So we locked Maria in for 2021.
Oh, nice.
So if some other retailer wants to do a Maria cover, they can talk to us.
Oh, dude, that's really awesome. Cool.
We're hoping to put out her like first 20 covers. You know what I mean? Like
That's definitely cool, man. Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
that's awesome.
So what else do we have coming up here besides that? What else do we have coming up? I think you got some stuff for us.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
there were 2 books went on sale today. There was a Deep Beyond #1, an image book, and J.K. Woodward did the cover for it.
I think we have those up. Can we pull those up?
Yep, I'm pulling them right now.
All right.
Yeah, and actually, look, there's the other. That's a Stan Yak cover, the Stray Dogs.
Stray Dogs. That's
Dude,
cool,
I love
man.
that Deep Beyond cover.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, and he's quick too. He was like, I think he did that in like 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
And Stan Yak did that other Stray Dogs cover in like a day. It blows my mind. Like, hey, can you do this? Sure. Next message is like, what do you think about this? I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
That's amazing.
I couldn't draw any of that in like a couple months, you know, unless I was tracing it.
Fucking tracer.
That is amazing. Like even when you think about like commission, so it even sounds like you're kind of almost doing the commission thing, but it's better, right? Like because they're getting this back to you fast, and then you're locking them up for a while, and you're seeing if they have spots. Like I think a lot of us know just because with the blanks we try to get commissions done or stuff like that. It's the same way we go out there, we stand in lines where you're just finding them on Facebook and going, hey, cool, do you have time? Let's lock you up. And they're returning stuff in one. That's crazy, dude. That turnaround time is, especially for quality like this, is pretty dope.
Yeah.
7 days? I would have shit my pants if someone brought that back in 7 days.
Right? No.
What makes you choose to use Facebook over like DeviantArt or websites where to go right for artists?
Well, I mean, we look at DeviantArt as well, but Facebook's nice because it's just, you know, somebody that knows somebody every time. You know what I mean? So when you reach out to these guys, it's like, they know 10 people. You know, it almost auto breaks the ice.
Oh, that's cool.
So when it makes it a little easier, you know. We also we get a lot of suggestions from the guys, you know, our customers too, on artists, and we always pay attention to those and take a look at them. We found a couple that way too. They'll be like, hey, check this person out, and it works out well for us.
Nice.
Plus,
And
go
ahead. Sorry.
If you just pay attention to, like, you know, just because we're doing books doesn't mean we don't pay attention to other retailers, you know, doing some books too. So, I mean, I had no idea who Peach Mamoka was until I think it was a Comic Mint did like some Magic cover or something like that. And I wasn't particularly a fan because I don't really collect that stuff. But I noticed that people went nuts over it. And so I was like, okay, well, I mean, if people are going nuts over it, then she does something else, probably going to go nuts over it too, you know?
Yeah.
So
Who's the hardest person you ever had to get? Who was the toughest sell?
The toughest artist we had to get.
Like it was just like you really wanted them, and they were just a pain in the ass to get.
Well, it took. What would you think, Delato? Yeah. Well, probably Delato. Probably Gabriel Delato. We got a cover coming out from him. I don't know, soon. because the publisher actually contacted him for us, and I mean we've been trying to contact the dude a long time, 2 months, something like that, and it's almost impossible.
Sure.
So,
but some of those big names like Delato or even like Eastman and that, I mean, you start getting into that realm of cover fandom where it's not like your people got to call their people who call the other people who call, McFarlane's people to talk to McFarlane. You got, there's like 4 buffer zones in there. So I can imagine that'd be near impossible to even get a hold of or talk to some of those people.
Yeah, I mean, that's conventions. That's why we need conventions back. That's for people like us. It's perfect. We get to go talk to these guys and make those introductions and hand out cards and it makes stuff a lot easier. So right now, without conventions, it certainly made things a little more difficult. But we found ways. So it's working out for us. It just takes time.
What's the major conventions you guys go to typically? Is there like a couple that you hit every single time, or do you just try to make the big ones? Where do you guys go for?
I've been to San Diego last 2 years and Emerald City last 2 years. And then we've got one here in Salt Lake that I think we've both been to a few times. But as far as Hive, we haven't been to any. This year will be our first year going to any. But we're going to try and hit Emerald City. We're going to try and booth at Emerald. Nice. And then it looks like we'll be boothing at FanX. We're working out some charity side of that too to help out some local charities when we do the FanX one, just because we're going to save so much money on travel and we get to sleep in our own beds at night. Like it's going to be so cheap for us there that us making money at a local con is going to be way easy. So we figured we'll pass some of that on. Nice. So we're working out the details on that. But I think the goal right now is Emerald City, and then we're going to see what happens beyond that.
Cool. Now, did you guys save a lot of some of your earlier books and keep 5 or 10 of them back in a box to sell at a con later on, or are you just sitting on some of the newer stuff?
We've got backstock of just about every book. I would say the one book we don't really is some of the Last Ronin stuff, the Color Splash and the Staniak for issue 1. Yeah. We've got a couple off the CGC that are like personals and a few to sell, but that's it. But everything else we've managed to keep, we've managed to keep at least 10 or 20 of everything. For that, just for that thought, like one day we'll be able to take him to con.
Yeah, that's a good thought. That's great thinking.
You guys had Gallagher on crossover 2 and 3, correct? You guys had
1, 2, 3, and 4.
1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got him for all 4. Wow.
And 5 and 6.
Oh, nice. Yeah, dude, he's doing some real. Oh, I see a lightsaber in the background. I'm a fan.
You already won Marco over.
Yeah, you got me one over. You just gotta watch out. That dark saber weighs a little bit more if you're gonna battle. But with that Gallagher, 2 was the one on the spinner rack, right? I like that one where she was in the spinner rack and there was some type of lightning on it, and 3 had the 2-par set on it. I remember that. I can't remember 1 really quickly off the top of my head.
One is like the book's blowing his brains out.
Yeah. All right.
It's like a take on cover A, but
right. Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, that's some good stuff. You guys definitely have some cool books. Obviously for those people listening that want to check them out, go to Hives Comics. I think you guys have everything listed there. Obviously, it's probably how it goes now. If you're not going to shows, it's all got to be online at this point.
And tell everybody again we all can buy that goddamn book that's hanging up behind you.
Yeah, next Saturday
at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Also, hey, did you guys? I think we sent you one more cover that we haven't really shown at all.
Is it for that book or is it for a different book?
Nuclear Family.
Oh no, we have that. We can put that up real quickly. Go ahead. Put up the Nuclear Family one. Dude, that's dope.
God damn it, I gotta buy another book.
I don't know what's these covers. You know, a lot of the stuff that's been coming out right now that's been, especially with these retailer ones that have the little bit of almost like the EC style to it. You know, going back to like showing books that are really cool, like stuff that has to do something like this. You know, we saw some freaky clowns last week. You know, all that. It reminds us all. It reminds us all kind of that EC type stuff and all that stuff that, you know, the seduction stuff. It's really cool to see it coming back out. It's really awesome to see the quality of stuff they're doing here. I mean, hey, look, you're not the only ones. The chat's kind of going a little bit crazy for this too. So
yeah. So when does that go on sale? What's the story behind that one?
I think we got that one on sale February 6th. So the weekend after Berserker. We have the weekend after Berserker, this goes up along with, we're doing a scout book called Black Friday. Alan Qua is doing a connecting set of 1, 2, and 3 for us, but we don't have any cover art yet for it. Otherwise, we'd throw it your way.
Here, I'm just going to mail you my debit card so we can just get
Hey, on that, we've had a lot of customers, no kidding, say stuff like that. And they're like, can you just put it on file? Like, I'm tired of you guys do 2 releases a week and I don't want to miss anything. Right. So starting next month, we're doing a pilot program where we're giving some of our customers hey, this is how much every book's going to cost this month. If you want to just pay it at the first of the month, so you don't have to be on our website every single Saturday at 4:00 to catch everything. And if it's selling out, then have at it. Here you go.
You know what, man? It's not just a place to put your hat.
Right? Yeah. So monthly hold boxes, 1 month at a time hold boxes is kind of what we're going to start doing for these guys, because it's hard. I mean, you're trying to catch covers every single weekend sometimes, and it gets tough, especially if you're working on the weekends and stuff like that. I mean, it can get rough. So we just don't want our customers to miss out.
That's really cool, man.
I definitely don't want to miss this cover. I'll tell you that right now.
Great idea.
Apparently, they want to know: can you do a Ben Roethlisberger variant? And that's not funny, guys. That's not funny.
Come on, Ben. I mean, Marco. Great idea.
All right, I don't look like Ben. That's not funny. It's not funny. All right.
I don't know. I see the resemblance.
Yeah, get out of here. Nobody sees the resemblance. But this is cool, man.
You guys are fucking killing it.
Banners in there somewhere? Isn't that what we're supposed to do now?
Dude, hey, you can put a little Barry in there. You know, he ran a couple yards here. He did kind of left us there for a bit, but what are you gonna do? If you're gonna do great Pittsburgh quarterbacks, though, you can put Charlie Batch in there. EMU's finest. So nobody will get that joke except for if it's a deep cut. It's a very deep cut.
Anyway, we're trying to sell books, not leave them sitting on their shelf.
That one will sit. This is cool, though. You guys really got some good stuff, and that's a great idea to have the pull box service. I think that's something that, you know, when we were talking to a couple other people, awesome. I think that when we were talking to a couple other people about it, you know, they were asking because they said, "Hey, you talked to so and so or did such and such. I missed it. I don't know if you've seen the my girlfriend excuse online about people missing books and such like that. That's the newest excuse. It used to be my girlfriend messed up my ASM. Now it's my girlfriend didn't order the book. Could I get it or whatever that situation is? So it's good to see that look, cutting out all the excuses for people is better overall. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, everybody likes the lightsaber in the background. That's amazing.
He's riding it like a horse now, so.
Yeah, that's I got little ones too. That happens.
If you got a lightsaber, you might as well ride it like a horse.
Right? Exactly.
Man, so can we run through those covers one more time so we can ooh and all over them once more?
Oh, please do. Sure.
What the hell is he drinking? What is Wookiee drinking out of? I don't know. All right.
It's my Winnie the Pooh cup, man.
Get out of here.
So these are for sale right now. People can go to your website right now and order these.
Yeah, comics.com. You can go there and get these. Deep Beyond Sweet. I like that octopus.
Oh, dude, that's super detailed, man. That's dope.
And this is coming out in February.
Right here.
February 5th or 6th. February 6th.
No.
Yeah, that's going to be a good.
Neil Nelson, he also did a Black Cotton, if you guys missed out on that one. We still got some available on the website.
Okay. Yeah. And then we got there's two covers to this, right? There's this one you guys have, and then aren't you selling another cover too?
Not for Berserker.
Only one cover. My bad.
We have two covers coming for Cult of Dracula #1.
That's what it is. All right.
That's a badass cover.
That is, dude.
That is super real.
Just think he's gonna get somebody there.
I mean, that just
It makes you feel the pain of war.
it makes me feel like I'm the bad guy and I want to run.
Right?
like I'm out, bro. Nope, I ain't doing that one. Rambo, maybe. This one, nope.
Yeah, that Stray Dog it does look a lot like the Blair Witch Project comics. That's really cool.
It is. Yeah, it's an homage to the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. Well, if you guys looked at some of their other covers, I think cover A for that book is an homage to Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, that's cool.
A or B. Yeah. So
Those are great covers. God.
thank you. Appreciate it.
You guys are killing it with these covers.
Yeah, for sure.
We're trying.
All right, so we're gonna.
No. You're not trying. You're doing it.
Thank you.
Maybe you did that in the past. You tried, and you figured it out now.
So definitely, like the February, we got to get some art together for the February one. I think we have to remind everybody about that too. I think that's going to be.
I think you guys need to come back and talk about that.
Dope. Yeah, I think Nuclear Family is just, jeez, man. That's going to be a hot one. That's going to be a good one. So, yeah, definitely have you guys back out for that, too, and stuff. I don't know what you guys have for the rest of the day. If you guys got lightsaber fights going on back there or whatever else.
Sounds like it's time to practice some training of the Force.
Oh man, he'll grab those and run past me when I'm in here doing work and just smack me in the side of the head with them, running out the door.
Yeah,
gets me up constantly. Whatever. What can you do? He's having fun with them.
Hey,
that's awesome. That is awesome. Hey, so that's cool. Thanks for that, Joel. There we go. And since it was pushed back, I wonder how much the scramble will be to grab it. Yeah, I do too. Since Berserker's been pushed back, I don't know. There's a lot of people that have been waiting for that. I mean, that did get off anybody's.
How long did it get pushed back?
Well, I think we're used to it though. Last Ronin's been pushed back like how many times?
All right, you're right.
You're right.
Don't remind me.
But I think Last Ronin was like, oh, okay, this is pushed back again. Where like Berserker, everybody was like, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? When's it coming out? When's it coming out? I mean, that's all. If you even said the word, or if you said Keanu Reeves, it was like, well, Berserker, right? It's coming out. So I think it's a little bit different situation on that. I think you're gonna see that stuff kind of fly a little bit.
I need to let the chat know that they need to wait so that I can order a cover too, and don't order them all.
Yeah, you guys are getting a couple of orders. That's Straight Dog. So, in the black cotton.
If anybody is interested, we do have pre-orders of all the ratios for Berserker up on our website already.
Oh, nice.
Incentives are always good grabs,
Right. Dude, that's cool. That's awesome. So go out there and get all those.
You guys do like graded ones where we could just automatically have a graded 9.8. You guys, I've seen that on your guys' Facebook page.
Somebody bought a 1 in 500 today, 9.8 today for $450, I think it was. So I think that's a good deal. Sure.
They're Lord Tatman. No, there are people who do. So they do variants. They pretty much get hire artists if you miss the beginning part of it. Do covers for certain comic books that are coming out, like Berserker. It's the Keanu Reeves book where he did a GoFundMe for it, right, or something to that effect. Got everything going with it.
They did a Kickstarter, right?
Kickstarter. It was one of the two.
$1 million or something.
Yeah, and it really went off. People really wanted it. And so for the Berserker, it's not. It'll keep going on. And they have other stuff too. Like they said, for Berserker, it's just the #1, but they did a Kickstarter, so it got postponed for a little bit. And then it got postponed again. Now they're finally coming out with it.
I think Keanu doesn't need to do a Kickstarter. He's got enough money.
I know. Well, whatever, man. It worked. People were excited.
I'm not using my own fucking money. Fuck that.
He's pretty heavily invested in that motorcycle company, so I'm guessing that he might have had to start a Kickstarter.
Oh, I hope we get a lineup of signing with that guy. I mean, Matt Kent, Keanu and Victor Garduño all on a cover.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Somebody asked earlier though, is if Keanu's there, can you get him to sign it as John Wick, or does he have to sign it as Keanu?
What happens? It said John Wick on it.
I'm sure you could ask him to sign it anything you want, really.
I guess, yeah, you can have him try to sign it whatever you want.
I want him to sign it Keanu Reeves, aka Ted Theodore Logan.
I'm gonna have him sign it. I'm gonna have him sign it.
I want him to write, "I am an FBI agent."
Sign it what? What'd
Johnny
you say?
Utah.
Yeah, Johnny Utah, bro.
Point Break.
Utah.
Yeah. Point Break. I love that show.
Badass.
Oh, Jesus. Well, we got a lot of comments.
Or Johnny Silverhand for all of you Cyberpunk fans out there. If there's any Cyberpunk fans out there left.
He would probably crash or get buggy before he finished signing it.
That's probably true.
That didn't work out well. All right, hey, so go to Hive Comics Saturday 4. You can. Is that tomorrow? When is it? Tomorrow?
A week from
tonight.
tonight.
What day is it today? I don't even know what day it is today.
It's Saturday, buddy.
Saturday.
That's why I thought you said Saturday. I was like, isn't today Saturday? So a week from today, you could get it 4:00. Hive
Eastern.
Comics. Remember, this comes out February 4th, so keep an eye out for that. They're going to have their poll system coming out too. What else do you got, James? Anything good?
Jonathan, but hey,
Or Jonathan? I miss the 2 J's up all the time, man.
That's all right. That's all right. No, just you can check out our the Deep Beyond and Stray Dogs right now. They've been flying off the shelf pretty well today, but and we still have a few crossover 2s, a few crossover 3s, a few crossover 4s left from John Gallagher.
Last Ronin.
Last Ronin 2. Oh yeah, Stan Yak's got a pretty dope Last Ronin 2 cover.
Last Ronin 2 is cool. The crossovers are definitely dope. Go check those out. We
so
put
they can find you on Facebook, right?
Yeah, you can.
Do you have to know the secret password to join the club or what?
You got to beg for acceptance.
All right, we got their site down on the bottom. We also put it in the chat, so you can just link it over there from the chat. Also, go there, check their stuff out. It's cool stuff, man. You won't be disappointed. Obviously, some of you already have. Great, Kyle. If you need to take a break and order something real quickly, feel free to do that too.
Hold on. Yep, I'll be right back.
You didn't see him ordering as we were talking. I saw his thumb feverishly moving.
He broke off at one point. Good.
He fumbled his debit card on the ground, and I saw his wife pick it up and run to the other room. So.
Well, thanks, guys.
No, it's cool covers, man. Here, just take my fucking money.
Gladly.
Can I just sign my paycheck over to you?
Yep, I'll just endorse it. 2 Hive Comics.
Yep.
Well, we're going to run over to now. Speaking of variants, we're going to switch over to. You guys got a list of 300s, right? I don't know if you guys want to hang around. If you guys want to get into more lightsaber fights, if you would just want to chill a little bit.
You guys can hang out if you want. You can bail if you want. Whatever you guys.
Do whatever you guys want to do. Really appreciate you guys coming out. You guys got some great looking books.
Thanks, man. Thanks, yeah, appreciate it.
Yep.
Want to hang out for that? We'll chill for a bit.
Yeah,
we're doing our top 10 favorite 300 swipe covers, homage covers.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen?
What's that?
Have you guys seen our 300 swipe?
No, go grab it. We'll put you on
No,
screen.
that'll be one of ours. You guys get started.
All right, we'll get
I
started.
might have to adjust my list now.
We did a metal 300 swipe.
Oh, nice.
Pretty awesome.
Oh, I hope it's. I think we did see it. I think we did see it actually.
Right,
I think we saw it.
that.
I think we saw it. And we took it off somebody. Yeah, because somebody had it on their list, and we're like, "Oh man, who did this?" And yeah, I think we did see it.
If you
Because we couldn't find it for sale.
swear to God, I'm going to be pissed if that's what it is.
We got a couple of 10s, signed 10 copies, and the 9.9 and some 9.8s. Wow.
Oh, you're gonna steal his debit card at this point. You're gonna. This is awesome. Yeah. All right, Matt. They started off with Kyle. So when he's yelling, yelling at me later,
Kyle wants to see the. He wants to wait.
Why don't we start with Solo just so I can
James,
pause and scream?
he's trying to find.
You want to start with solos?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they got all the books. If you guys have never seen it before, they have all the books up on top of the thing where the lightsaber's pointing. So, yeah, it's super cool.
Oh, there they are. There they are.
Oh,
So they had to take it down from there. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You want
All right, Solo, we're going to start with you. You're up.
All right.
Kicking off with your number 10.
All right. This one I like. It's a very solid cover. I'm a sucker for a good Green Goblin. So for them to actually do, I feel like it's justifiable because, Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Green Goblin, it ties in together. The colors on this just really pop. And there's something about the colors on ASM 300s. I either like them or I hate them. And if the colors don't pop, I have a really hard time digesting them.
Hold on, I got to shout out to Rob's Comics real quick. Motherfucker, you keep getting those goddamn Nubia covers, and I can't find them, and I'm still pissed that you keep finding them. All right, keep going, Wookie. But shout out, dude, I love the covers.
And this one, I like all three of them because there's actually three of them, and I think I like the Virgin version of this one the best out of all of them, but they're all pretty much the same. But this is that's a solid cover.
It is.
Number 9.
Dude, I love that. I'm so stoked we found out that this wasn't a fake cover.
Right? Like, if you don't like Jughead, like, there's something wrong with you. Jughead is just classic comics. I mean, he's just everything that comics is. I mean, he reads classic 50s and just the bad kid, and just, I don't know. To see a 300 homage of Jughead, I didn't even really know it existed until I started looking and I saw it and I was like, oh, look at this, man. It's just, it's classic. So, yeah, I love this cover.
Number 8.
I'm a sucker for Cerebus. I mean, you can put him on anything and I'll dive in head first. I just love the guy. I mean, a lot of people don't like him, but whatever. Collect what you like, and I like him. And I've always thought this was a pretty cool kind of homage because it didn't really pose him in that standard, foot up next to his head and swinging and everything else. It was just kind of a new take on an old cover. So I'd love this one too.
Looks like the only thing they took was the 300 part.
Yeah, but that's kind of why I like it because he's just standing there and then he's got some,
coming in.
Yeah,
I like the defiantness of the word bubble. If this is the number 1, why does it say 300? That's stupid.
Yeah, you're character. I do love the Hulk swipe. It's
when are your dad and I going to get Black Saber?
The way that they use the moon for the circle and they have him kind of coming through it in a different position. You can clearly tell that it's an homage, but it's not. It's not. So I really enjoy that it's.
You better watch it. You might get your head cut off in that lightsaber battle.
I love that
It's real wild back there.
Another new take on the same old cover.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Lots of detail too. I love a good detailed Hulk. Again, another one. You can tell that it's the swipe. You got Spidey with the foot next to his head, bent in full on arachnid position, and you got that moon to catch that circle, and then you got
that moon to catch the night.
That's right.
And, there's Moon Knight has got a Green Lantern power ring around his waist. Utility belt.
You just got to make sure that that he's better than Batman, and that's it. It's basically right there.
And it's a win.
Yeah, win.
Love that cover.
Throw it up.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way these pop. The way that the color pops with the new the aqua turquoise blue green on the foot that really sets off against that black and that pink. I mean, she's in the classic pose. It's just a solid cover. I love the Virgin variant of this where it's just her, the number, and the backdrop. That's it. It's just so clean.
What is it with the pinks and the purples in comic books that just it makes you? I don't know about you guys, but whenever you see those, it just makes me want to buy them. I don't know what it is. Even sometimes like that certain darkish red that gleams a little bit. Not the colors you see all the time, but it's definitely something pretty cool.
The way the color contrast contradicts it, just especially with that black, the way her legs are very, ominous black, dark black.
It's because she's wearing yoga pants.
Yeah, it just makes that color pop. That blue green, that pink, just really makes it stand out to have that bright color on top of it. It always catches my eye. I agree, Marco. Like books that have that pop of color like that with a dark background. Even if I don't collect those books, I'm like, wow, that's dope. I gotta look into that. Here's another 3-in-1, so to speak, and I like them. I think it's again real solid. I hate that.
According to Marco's rules with top 10 lists, that should be.
You're done.
That shouldn't count. It shouldn't count per Marco's fucking rules.
The guy who doesn't put together a top 10 list has rules for the top 10 list.
That's right.
Does that count?
I mean, if he liked Star Trek, then maybe I'd listen to him a little bit more, but
make it so, number one.
I love this cover because it's different. I mean, each one of these are a little bit different. They're not that just lather, rinse, repeat of 300. Over time, I just get so burned out on the 300. I get that it's an homage, but it gets that point where it's like, hey, if you're not Todd McFarlane and it's not for one of your Todd McFarlane books, you shouldn't be allowed to do a 300 unless you can
shut your mouth.
Something new. And that's just my opinion. I know everybody else is different.
Yeah, it's like an asshole. We don't want to hear it.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Well, like that one.
I love Doc Ock. Anybody who watches the show and knows me, I'm a huge Doc Ock fan. My son's middle name is Octavius. And so what's not to love about this? The way they broke the bubble with all the legs and everything. I love it. It's just badass. I love that the 300 is in green. It just makes all the other colors pop. It just brings them forward, and it just makes this stand off the page. And I'm a huge Spawn fan, so that doesn't hurt.
And Todd always is cool with that, especially like when he signs this book. We all know he puts on those colors that makes it pop, so that's something that he likes.
Is there anybody in Arizona that's not a Todd McFarlane fan?
I was a Todd McFarlane fan way before I moved to the desert of death.
That's the requirement. If you live in this state, in order to live here, you have to put on your voter registration and state ID that you're a Todd McFarlane fan.
Hey man, that's what happens when you live in Satan's butthole.
That's right.
I'm not a fan particularly.
And this one, gotta come out. When this one comes out, I'm buying.
Why you keep letting big list, dude?
This is the dopest 300 cover ever.
I didn't make this anymore.
Bernie. Look at that cover, is badass.
It's like that. Hey, this is like that Virgin, that Virgin Ghost Spider he just showed. It just don't exist.
Look at it. Feel the burn, baby. Look at that book. I want 10 copies now. Make it happen.
We talked about this all day during our prep meeting. We were trying to figure out how to make it. And I'm scrolling through. So shout out to the Facebook comic book group.
Yes.
Somebody posted it, and it was just holy fuck.
Yeah, whoever made this, I was trying to get my guys to help me here because I am computer stupid and I couldn't do it. We were running out of time, and Kyle found this. Oh, greatest find ever, because this is exactly what I wanted. I would buy 10 of these books tomorrow.
Nice. Can we make Kyle mad now? Can we have Hive Comics show the comic book so we can make me on it?
Show it.
Yeah, show it.
All right, so here's our submission to this list.
Okay, cool.
Franklin and Ghost.
Nice.
Derogatory Tales of Franklin and Ghost. This is a 10, one of our 10s.
That's awesome.
That's a metal cover.
Yeah.
We did do that, just raw, non-metal too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it'd be easier to see, but I'm not pulling it off the wall, so
Yeah.
I'll climb up on the bed and end up in the hospital. So that's not happening.
Nice.
I like the metal covers. I like them a lot
Yeah.
more than just the regulars. The regulars definitely present better, but on camera. But I love the metal covers so much more.
There's something about them in hand, like that extra depth that's added to it with the metal, just because on top of the depth from the artwork itself, you've got this shine on certain parts that you don't really have on others because of the colors, and they're different. They're different for sure.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
thinking.
yeah, we both got into them because we collected the Valiant medals.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Valiant's fault that we do medals.
There's a lot of people blaming Valiant for things. All right, Kyle, what do you got on your list, Kyle?
All right, at number 10 for our 300 cover swipe. I just, it's cool that it's just one of those things that cross over mediums. And I just thought it's cool that it, once it came to comic book, it was hot and people loved it, and that's it. It's just a cool cover.
You like pickles.
I love pickles in the mouth.
Yikes.
Yikes. This is number 9. Just instead of, I love it. Zombies, Wolverine, fucking 300 swipe. It's just it's just a trifecta of a cover. And instead of saying 300 or 1 or anything, it says snick it. And it's just badass. And it's cheap, man. It's a cheap cover to get. It's like $15 on eBay. Don't go fucking buy them all up. I got to buy a couple more
When they're done. Yeah,
but it's a great cover.
that's cool.
Number 8 is just same thing. It's just Tucci just fucking killed it when he was making this, and it just, I like, if you scroll up a little bit more or down, I always get those confused. I like how it says approved by the comic. Not. It's a killer cover. It's great.
The symbol.
Everybody loves Silk.
The backdrop of that one, the little Japanese symbol, over it, instead of the 300 or the 301, kind of like the other one. That's dope on that cover. I do like that.
So I remember when I had Todd Nuck sign this for me. I remember he's like, I remember if he was with his wife or his handler or whoever it was, but they charged me. They're like, and they looked. He said, I have to charge more for this cover. And I was like, fuck, man. But I guess at the time, so many people were getting this issue signed that he was actually charging more for it. But it's Silk. So, it was, Gwen was going crazy and Silk was kind of by the wayside. And now it's, you see, Silk coming up, but it's just a cool cover. Todd Nuck kills it. Me, I didn't know there was a virgin one like fucking Solo did, so I had to get the regular cover.
I didn't know there was a virgin either.
But same thing, it's just the pinks and the turquoises and everything pops, and it's just a killer cover.
Did anybody throw up Carnage yet?
Did you see this? Oh, there's one more group. It's like he's looking at the slides.
Ask and you shall receive.
It's just no list is complete without a badass Carnage cover.
Right. Yeah.
So that's I just like the black on with the Carnage. It kills it. It's just awesome. Number 4
in the background.
We already talked about it. We already googed and awed over this cover, so we can just go to number 3. So I chose this. This is just great. It's just like I said. It's Todd McFarlane, 227. It's anything with Spawn on it's pretty badass. Love it. When I found this, I fucking shit myself because I didn't even know that this was out, and I'm pissed because he's one of my favorite artists. So when are you guys going to get him to do a cover for you?
Who was that? Was that Mariah?
Jamie Tyndale.
Tyndall.
So this was a Kickstarter one. It's pretty cool. It's fucking. I just love the way he draws this shit, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he does good work. He does really good work.
And when you guys get him, no matter what it's going to be, I'm just going to have to buy it.
I like the way he did the skull with the spider on top. Like he changed that circle into something of his own. And
Yep.
I like a good homage cover. When they own it and they make it their own. It just makes that so much better.
I think you got a new sponsor, Kyle.
Yeah, Chad's worried about you, Kyle.
Totally worried. And this is my number one. Fucking Venom, number 2.
That came out in the chat too.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
Who did that one?
Tony Moore. So he could draw more than zombies.
Yeah, nice.
This is one of those books, though, that every time I find it somewhere, I just buy it. First print, second print, it doesn't matter. I just have to get it. It's one of those ones where one day I'm going to be going through my collection and go, holy fuck, I bought this many of them. And they're all just sitting here, but it's a fucking cool cover. Machine gun. Fucking, I mean, I think it just rocks. And I think it's an underappreciated cover.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right.
I hadn't thought about it, and you'd know, Kyle, because you're a huge fan, and I'm not, but Walking Dead never did a 300 homage. I'm dumbfounded that there isn't a 300 homage for Walking Dead.
Nope.
Hey, one really quick before I go, guys. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely. Put them up.
It's on my phone, but Samurai Grandpa.
Dude, that's hilarious.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Scrolling through a bunch of stuff.
I didn't even see that one. Samurai Grandpa. That's awesome. That's awesome.
If you guys collect, I got a few of those left, I think.
Nice.
You guys find me on Facebook, message me.
Where do we find you on Facebook?
I'll send you guys some books.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, man. We really do. All right, guys. Well, hey, it was great hanging out with you guys.
Thanks you guys. We appreciate you guys
Love your
coming.
books, man. They look great, man. Congratulations.
Yes, great job, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. All right, who would be on the cover of a Walking Dead homage? Yeah, who would be?
With Lucille, it is head up over here.
No, wait, dude. I think Daryl with a crossbow.
Daryl wasn't in the comics, though.
That's why it makes it so much better to be on a cover.
I would have said Michonne with her
or it's White with the crossbow, or Michonne with the
katanas with the blade.
That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got? We got one more list, Matt, right?
Yep.
My turn.
Yep.
Shot number 10.
Coming in number 10, I got Tiggerverse.
Tigger, yeah.
Just because, how could you go wrong with Tigger? And, why not put a symbiote in it? It just seems like that's what we're doing nowadays, just putting symbiotes on everything. So why not Tigger? I just love the coloring, the black and the white on him, though. The red background, it's super dope cover. I wish I could get one of these, but unfortunately, it's a little out of my price range now. Looks like $500, something like that. It's
$1 million.
Yeah.
Just save up your lunch money, buddy.
I wasn't lucky enough to win $1 billion.
Yeah, those Tiggerverse are getting up there, and it's definitely a solid cover.
Number 9, Deadpool, number 45. You got to have a Deadpool cover in here, I feel like, even though I'm not much of a Deadpool fan. But got to do it. Got to do it for the peeps.
Got to do it for the peeps.
Do it for the peeps that are Deadpool fans out there. I just like it because of the Carolina blue. That's like one of my favorite colors. And I think
Carolina blue.
Yeah. No, the art's not bad, but number 8, SpiderMan 850. Solo Wookie pretty much already hit the nail on the head. It's a beautiful cover. One of my things about art and stuff like that is just faces, and I love the way the face is done. on this, and the detail in the Goblin is.
Then I bet you didn't read the new Wonder Woman feature state.
It's very well done. I did, and I'm not. We're not. We'll go there in a minute. Number 7, Ant-Man. I just like the way that they did the circle and magnifying glass on his little desk, and how it's like, an homage of McFarlane on as like taped to the desk like a note. Just dope cover.
Glass is very ingenious on how they did that. I do think that's clever and well noteworthy.
Number 6, Venom 26. I just think that's such a clean cover and the detail.
Yeah.
I never even seen that one come out.
Number 5, Lady Death. I love that is a Emerald City Comic-Con exclusive.
Oh, I have that.
I love the 666 background with the Seattle skyline in the back. The Space
Red
Needle.
and green.
Yeah. So very nicely done. Number 4 is that Spawn 227. It's McFarlane. Like, where did he put it? If you live in Arizona, it's like required to be a McFarlane fan.
It is. It really is.
Number 3, Venom 30.
You know it, Tim.
I love this cover. I love the detail in it. The use of the light and the exposure in the background. Very well done. I feel like with Venom, people can get kind of carried away with doing the mouth and the jaw and the teeth and the way the tongue's bitching. And I just like that. I think that's a very clean cover.
No, it is. It's cool.
Number 2, old school Power Rangers fan. Got to go with the Lord Dakin or Draken, however you want to pronounce it.
Who did that cover?
Homage cover for 37. I'm not sure who did this cover.
Damn.
But I just love the way anything Power Rangers. There's a White Ranger cover that's an homage to for an earlier issue that I didn't put on here. My number 1, Spider-Gwen 25, the Gwenom variant. Like Solo Wookiee said on the other Spider-Gwen cover, I love the uses of black and purple and the purple and whites, like the color, the exposure, like overexposure, the background on this cover. I think this is a fantastic cover. But Spider-Gwen, just any way they do her, whether it's Gwenom or as Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider, just her color scheme is off the hook.
Off the chisel.
Yeah. That's my number 1. Next week,
JJ brought up the remember I was asking you guys if it was no, this one right here, the Sega game.
Yes, we were having a discussion about that.
I didn't think that was real. I could not.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That.
I didn't remember that.
I thought it was totally a fake.
I'm glad that JJ actually said that because we discussed it for quite some time, trying to remember if it was a real game. I guess we could have used the power of Google and we didn't.
Must have been while I was eating sushi.
But should have texted old JJ.
He knows it all.
Must have been while you were eating sushi.
I must have been taking a popcorn break.
Next week, if you guys are enjoying this list, next week we're gonna do top 5 books that elude us as collectors.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So the top 5 books that personally have eluded us, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of Star Wars books on there from Solo Wookiee.
Yeah, there are probably going to be more TMNT books
and a lot of
there.
TMNT.
Than I know. Yeah, that's a long, frustrating. It's all going to be Spawn and TMNT at this point.
But five books, Solo Wookiee, so
everyone who's in the chat, real quick, Margo. We love our chat. We love the fans. We love the people that watch this show, our listeners, our viewers. We encourage you to take part in these lists. So we tell you weekend ahead, we're doing a list of the top 5 books that elude us. Head on over to our IG, Modern Comic Mayhem on IG. Send us a direct message with a video or a list of your own saying these are the top 5 books that elude me, and you guys can make it on the show next week. We'll play it live or read your list live on the show next week.
That'd be
so
cool.
You can be part of the discussion.
It'd be really cool if you guys did it like in a bathtub, like Marco likes to be in.
Yeah.
Extra
I gotta
bubbles.
do it. That actually could have been when you guys were discussing it too. I will actually make a list. It only has one book. There's only one book that eludes me, and you can try to guess at it. That'd be fun too. I don't think anybody's gonna get it right, but yeah. I'll make
I
a
heard
list.
that there's a toy review channel coming from Marco that he does live from his bathtub. When does that debut?
It's not coming out either.
You just get to watch him review toys and play as he plays in the bathtub.
Rose petals on top, floating on the bubbles, and a couple candles. Hi, good evening with Marco and the toys and tub.
But as much fun as it is talking old comic guys and covers, let's move on to something a little bit newer, maybe a little distant future stuff. Let's talk a little bit of Future State and the rest of the big books that came out this week. Kyle, you want to kick us off with anything Future State related that caught your fancy this week?
Dude, wait, hold on, man. Go back to the comment about Bernie in the background, because it is, dude. That Bernie in the background, man. Bernie in the background.
Hey, man, we're burning it down over here.
Bernie in the background's pretty comedy, dude. I don't know. I've been laughing at it. I just can't. I just can't. It's hilarious. All right, good job on that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I just derailed that. This is a great transition, and I've just railed it. So, go ahead. What do we got? Future State?
He's once again asking for your donation so he can buy his books that elude him.
Yeah, that's it.
So, he's once again asking for your financial support to help his comic collection.
Isn't he making shirts of the best memes that he liked and selling them for charity?
Dude, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Dude, I love those gloves. All right, wait. So Future State.
They're mittens, and that girl is now killing it. She's making a fortune because she actually.
I don't care. I really don't care. I just think this is hilarious.
For her, man. That's great.
Look, we got a rare Corbin sighting in the chat. Why isn't he on? You can come to the chat. Come on, Corbin. Come talk Future State with us.
Get in here, Corbin. What the fuck?
We're going right now, Corbin. Let's go. You're on the clock, buddy.
All right, Patrick says, hey, so let's hear about it, because Patrick does bring it up. He says that Future State has far surpassed expectations. Bernie,
so I guess I'll start with Nightwing.
Yes, because we just got a question in the chat. Do you think Nightwing is a keeper?
I actually enjoyed Nightwing. This was I was pleasantly surprised. Like, the first week we did this was we were kind of disappointed. The second week we were happy, but Nightwing was a good run. I mean, it starts out just like everything else. It's the mask, and Nightwing is, jumping around the city, and he knows Batman is gone. He knows he's held up in Arkham. He knows what's going on. He's trying to fucking get through it. I think Matt has a pretty good synopsis of what the issue is.
Yeah, Batman is gone. Now Nightwing has taken on the mission of keeping the citizens of Gotham safe from the Magistrate. But to do that, he'll have to stay one step ahead of the Magistrate. And things have gotten bad in Gotham when the safest place for Dick to hide out is an abandoned Arkham Asylum. When Nightwing gets a visit from a mask claiming to be the new Batman, does he fight like one? Pick up this dark peek into the future by writer Andrew Constant and artist Nicola Scott?
If he was only Dick Stroke in it.
Right?
Sorry, my inner 12-year-old just jumps out when you say things like the safest place for Dick to hide out. I gotta giggle, man. I gotta giggle. All right. But come on, man. That shit's funny.
No, it's a pretty good issue. He's the new Batman comes. He knows it's not he doesn't actually know who he is, but he takes him. He captures him. He goes into Arkham and ties him up, and they're discussing it as the magistrate is coming to Dick.
Top 10 safest places where Dick died. Oh, go. Your mom's house. All right. What were you saying, Kyle?
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows what he's saying. Thanks a lot, Tim. Thanks, Tim. Way to ruin it. Way to break Dick jokes.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it's good. He knows the best way to fight the Magistrate. It's kind of on his own turf, so he led them to Arkham, and he knows that the new Batman, needs to help him. So they're kind of in it to win it, and that's kind of where it ends. It's kind of a pleasant read. It's nothing. The art's actually pretty good. It's actually worth reading.
I agree. I definitely think at a future state, Nightwing is a keeper. Somebody asked in the chat, do we think Red X crosses over into Nightwing? Possibly. I don't. If he does, it's going to be before the events that are going on in Teen Titans, because there's a big time different gap between Teen Titans and Nightwing. But
yes, I am dictating the story.
Wow.
Patrick says the color for issue 2. The whole team is wearing.
Sorry, these guys are the best.
Patrick says, check out the cover for issue 2. The whole team's wearing the Red X mask. It looks pretty cool. That's cool. Yeah, we heard the rest of the jokes. Okay, so what's next?
Did you check out Future State Batman, Kyle?
No.
So
Future
State Batman, it kind of plays into the reason of why he goes to visit Dick, like because he's searching for a girl who's presumed dead, and in Batman he's trying to figure out some big powerful person was murdered, and you come to find out that the guy was murdered by the girl's parents, and the reason they murdered him is because he was grooming her online and was basically looking to sell her for child sex trafficking. Yeah, right.
Wait, what?
Let's go DC Comics. Yeah, this is a DC comic now.
Oh, that's a good idea. What a fucking...
I just can't stop reading the chat. Let's stop dicking around.
All right. So that sounds like it was not good. Is this what we're saying with that one?
So I mean, it was a lot to it. It connected to Nightwing because he goes to Nightwing because he's trying to find this girl, and that's the whole reason he goes to visit Dick in Arkham, because he's looking for that girl. So it wasn't terrible. But one of my favorites from this week was probably Catwoman.
Oh, I think Catwoman killed it. Like this. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Matt.
We're gonna throw some stuff up here from Catwoman. Catwoman killed it this week for me because I am a huge Kevin Smith fan. If you guys are old Absolute Geek fans, know that I'm a huge Kevin Smith mark. And just the fact that anytime Onomatopoeia, a Kevin Smith creation, can get some love in DC Comics continuity, I'm all for it. So it was nice to see Onomatopoeia make a appearance in Future State Catwoman. I love that they're using him, this obscure villain, in this book instead of your Joker or Penguins or your more well-known villains. The art was good. The story was really good. It was a good read. What do you think of Catwoman, Kyle?
No, I agree. I thought it was good. I just thought, she's kind of got a team. She's got a few other people that she's working with. The synopsis of this one is they've wrangled a bunch of kids up, and they're taking them to do like it's like reform. And so what she's doing is she's saving all of them. And so what she's kind of done is she got in the train, and she kind of just going from cabin to cabin, from train car to train car, and she's just kicking ass. And she gets all the way up, and then as this is happening, there's a reason there's a shitload of Majesty guards are they're actually guarding two people in this, which is actually kind of cool. So it's first they released Onomatopoeia, which is cool, and he's just a badass. Especially in this, man, he takes the blood, man, and fucking does himself. I know it's really good. And then there's another person that they're being held captive, and I think there's a slide for that one too. I guess not.
No, there is. Let me pull it down here.
So actually, go up, Matt, one more. So actually, who's in it is Talia, which is cool. But as you see, the other prisoner that they have in there is Bruce Wayne.
And that's the one thing about
he's actually not dead.
Right. Future State books is half of them the characters think Bruce Wayne is dead. Then you have the Dark Detective story, and then this, like, for me, the timelines are kind of all over the place. So I want to get more into I want to look more into that as I read it and kind of put the books together and see where you read them, how you should read them, what order you should read them in. But yeah, it's cool that Bruce Wayne's there. I just threw this in here.
Last week we had a
timeline
of the different books, and not every book is 5 years into the future,
right?
Especially when you read Wonder Woman, because that means fucking Superman, fucking
like Teen Titans. What Teen Titans was a good chunk into the future, and then Shazam is even further than that. So like, there's just so much gapping in time with these stories.
And I agree, Patrick. They should totally say when it is, because it is hard to gauge actually when it is, because you're right.
I think Patrick, right? Yeah, Patrick says, timeline's hard to keep track. They should provide one at the beginning of the book. Yeah, they really should. And so stuff like this, when they're going back and forth, and it's supposed to be a continued group. Wow, somebody's killing a lot of kids at Fortnite tonight.
I guess so.
I kind of threw in this if anyone wants to know. Like, Onomatopoeia makes his first appearance in Green Arrow. It was written by Kevin Smith's run on Green Arrow. There's Green Arrow 15 and 13. 13's his first cover appearance. So I like his whole gimmick is cool, and he's in a lot of Kevin Smith's own creating stuff like Weingeyer and things like that. So it's just cool to see something for me, Kevin Smith related, a bad guy that doesn't get used too often. Get
it's
some
actually
shine.
Cool in this issue because Talia is actually hidden inside of the Magistrate, and she's on the train, and she's actually, I guess, she knew that Bruce was on the train because she actually asks to go into the back and actually ask for it. So. Not go in the back, but go into the other cart to actually
go in the back.
She likes to go in the back.
Go in the back.
So,
of the onomatopoeia? No. All right,
what's that?
I didn't get what Patrick was asking. Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, is that James Tynion's killing the children in the background? So let's move on to Wonder Woman. Go back to my whole thing about face art. It's even better when there's no face.
Jeez. Fuck it. We don't need faces.
Faces? Who needs faces? Is that the question?
I was reading the book and I was like, they're faceless. Why are these did she just get drunk and forget? Like, what happened here?
It's the land of question.
It wasn't a big book. It wasn't a big event. Just kind of snuck up on them and figured they didn't need to draw faces.
They're like, it's panels from far away. It's all right. We don't need to do.
We don't need faces on any of them. You know what we need to do? We need to not draw faces there. Are you sure, Tim? I'm telling you, don't draw fucking faces. They won't even catch it.
Yeah, who needs faces?
Well, the question hasn't had a face for years, so seems to be working. Oh wait, he's not a #1 hit. Bad idea.
So I didn't really actually care for Wonder Woman that much. It was kind of cool though.
The whole thing, because the art kind of, if you don't draw characters with faces,
it was. There was some cool parts to it. I like that Superman was old as fuck.
And how exactly old is that guy?
I know. He had a grayer beard than you, motherfucker. So
I feel like that's not a very. The technical term for that would be pretty young, if we got hypothetical.
Okay, the Superman was pretty young in this.
Jesus.
He must be killing a lot of people in Fortnite.
Wilding out.
Wonder Woman definitely better.
I agreed. Immortal Wonder Woman was kind of a letdown. And it might have been because Catwoman was so good. You know what I mean? I read this one after it, so that, you know what I mean? I don't know if that played into it. I don't know if it was. I'm not sure. Like the Nubia story wasn't bad, but this story.
So if you're keeping score at home right now, it's Harley Quinn, Teen Titans, Robin Eternal, Nightwing, and Catwoman. That's 5 books so far that have been hits or been decent reads coming out of Future State.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 issues in a row for the all new Batman at $9, $7 plus. That it's why are you getting it? I don't know.
That's pretty solid. I didn't think that
Swamp Thing was good too.
Swamp Thing.
Yes, I forgot Swamp Thing. Thank you, Joe.
I didn't think that they were going to have anywhere near
6.
That many books from the way that they were pitching it and the way it sounded. I was hopeful. So I'm glad to hear that there's 6 good books out of all the stuff they're doing. That's good. That's awesome.
Batman and Detective are just going to sell no matter what. You could literally put a pile of feces in that, and it doesn't matter. It's going to sell.
Yeah.
What if they drew them with no faces?
It'd be all right. It's still all right.
Yeah. They'll sell. ASM, Batman, and Detective will sell because it doesn't matter how garbage it is. Honestly.
But kind of moving on, we were talking a little bit at the beginning of the show about Donny Cates' run coming into an end on Venom. I want to touch on a little bit King in Black. Did any of you guys read King in Black this week?
Wait, one more thing before we hit King in Black.
Go ahead.
My comic book store ordered all of these Future State books because their consensus from us as the customers, I was one of the very few people that was like, that actually like put them on my pull list. And so now that people are like, nobody was interested in Future State. Nobody was interested in Future State. Now they're selling out instantly because they underordered and everybody's interested in Future State. So
Tim says next No Faces is next level shit. They didn't expect anyone to read it anyway.
I think that happened too. They tried to do the pre-order thing to preemptively order them at the large comic book store chain that it's not a chain. It's like a franchise, whatever. The one that I go to, but they have enough of them kind of, but like when the hot ones are there, they sold out and nobody I was talking to them about the pre-order. I was like, is anybody pre-ordering this? They're like less than normally would. They're like less than normal. And it was the truth. They're just overall people have kind of fed up, but I get what you're getting at. If you can start getting these runs together, might not be a bad thing. So that's cool.
But before we move on to King in Black, guys, I want to thank everyone in the chat tonight. Chat's fire has been fire as always. 72 people watching live. So make sure to hit that like button if you guys are having a good time. And if you're not subscribed to Tales from the Flipside, hit the subscribe button, that notification bell when on your way out tonight, just so you know whenever anything from this channel goes live. You don't want to miss the Star Wars shows, the flagship show. Yep, Tales from the Flipside, Comic Book Women, Modern Playbook, Hot 10. Every show we got going on this channel is absolute fire, and you don't want to miss it. And definitely get informed. But let's move on to King in Black here. Did anybody read King in Black other than me this week?
I read it.
King in Black. This book was fire to me.
Dude, it was so good.
Yes, they're finally gonna let Dylan come out and play. You know, they gotta let him come out and play, and he definitely did. I included this panel here because I love this shot of Spider-Man leaping into action. That's so good, even though Sue Storm looks a little weird back there, but
they're actually leaping into action to protect.
Yep, Dylan.
Yep.
But Dylan, the face-off of Dylan Brock versus a Venomized Captain America is sweet. Cap throws a shield at him, and he's just like, nope, we're good. He catches it. So good. And then Dylan basically is like, I hope this hurts, and blasts Cap, making Null feel it. So they're bringing him out, going to use his powers, letting him loose. Then Thor comes in to help. And man, this shot of Thor just knocking Null's jaw off.
It's pretty dope.
So good. It's such a good shot. And it's so well drawn. But, you can't keep there's this jaw on the ground. Can't keep a good symbiote down.
Can't keep Null down.
Yep. Null's coming back into action. You got Tony Stark taking over the
I love that when he actually forms into it and like I love that. Like where he's actually attached inside. Like it's so fucking cool. Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
And what is this? 5?
This is issue 3 of King in Black.
Okay.
And the whole time the story is being narrated by somebody. And I thought it was Dylan Brock till the very last page when Silver Surfer's coming into action. Silver Surfer Black is coming into action.
Yeah, you missed the whole Thor fight, though.
Yeah.
Like the entire book is Thor comes in,
Mm-hmm.
they're battling, and they made it appear like that Thor got fucking killed in this issue. Like it shows this panel of him getting stabbed like right through the fucking heart.
Yep, he gets stabbed by Null's sword.
I mean, it's kind of cool that we brushed over that.
Yeah, I did it just because I wanted to entice people to read it a little bit.
Spoiler alert. Welcome to Modern Comic Mayhem.
Right? I wanted to entice people to read
spoilers
it,
here.
but no, you had your chance.
Here.
And it's still probably sitting on your local LCS shops wall. You can definitely go pick that up. But look, I mean, I'm loving King in Black, and like I said, I'm loving the way Donnie Cates' Thor, Venom, and Silver Surfer runs are all coming into play and crossing timelines now. It's some good stuff, and I like the shot of Dylan Brock, and they're gonna move him, and I think that 200 cover, I don't think that's Eddie Brock sitting on the throne. I think we're done with Eddie Brock. I think he's gonna go by the wayside. I actually think that's gonna be Dylan sitting on the throne.
You think?
I think so. I think that's going to be. I think we've seen the end of Eddie Brock. I think Dylan is going to be the new Venom or the new major player moving forward. So.
I was until I heard more about it, I wasn't going to pick it up and read it. You guys are definitely starting to get me to.
Oh, this is definitely a pick up and read. Since it's only 3 issues in, you could definitely find issues 2 and 1. I would definitely go back, buy the first 2, read it, and catch up, especially to this one. This was one of the ones when you finished reading it, you were like, "Fuck, yes, fuck with Thor, god damn it!" You know what I mean? Like overall, it was ups and downs, and it was really a roller coaster of a book for a comic book. It really, I mean, Cates really fucking killed it.
Well, I just love that this whole like time, the first 2 issues and all the crossovers, all you're seeing is Thor, or not Thor, but Null just fucking everything up. Like nobody can touch him. He's pretty much just whooping up on everybody. You know, he's whooping up on everybody. He thought the Sentry was their big gun. He gets ripped in half right off the beginning. Noel's like, "Nope, we're good." Rips him in half, you know. And
I like how he keeps calling Thor little god.
Right. And there's so I like that. Don the Daredevil costume.
Blue Green said, "Hey, what's up, Blue Green? Good to see you." Maybe Dylan will don the Daredevil costume on the second print cover. That's kind of funny.
But I think everyone's was looking at Null in this, and I think Dylan is going to be the character coming out of this. And I think you're going to see him pick up a lot this year, moving forward. I think that's why Cates is saying he's done writing that. Part of me thinks it's a little bit of Cates, magic there, the bad boy of comic stuff there, is that he's saying, "I'm never writing this character because Eddie Brock is dead, and now it's going to be, Dylan moving forward."
Yeah.
So
that's feasible.
Who knows? He likes to do that damn tomfoolery, but yeah, just that shot right there though of Thor knocking his jaw off, and Noel's like, "All right, nice shot," and puts his jaw back together and then stabs him through the chest. So
yeah, when he stabbed him through the chest, I was like, "Oh fuck!" I wonder what the fuck they're gonna do now. Like, it would be crazy that they killed Thor. I mean, motherfucker's a god. He ain't going nowhere.
Blue Green says Dylan's solo book in the near future.
Yeah, it could be it.
It could be, but
he's not writing SpiderMan. He's gonna write the Dylan fucking solo book.
The Dylan Normie Osborn, like Super Sons book.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Call it Venom Sons or Dylan Sons or.
It would make sense for them. I mean, they kind of need another new character to branch off and make a good, solid story run out of. So that would make complete sense.
The other book I'm reading this week that I really enjoyed is Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes 41. Still continuing the tournament or battle for the new host of the Phoenix. It's probably going to be Black Panther. Honestly, it just seems like it's going to be Black Panther. So that's a spoiler alert right there for you. This issue is good. It shows all the different heroes that are up for the potential Phoenix Force powers, kind of doing battle against their respective enemies in the Phoenix Force, and the Phoenix Force is kind of jumping between them and choosing them who they want to do battle. Black Panther's kind of having this whole discussion, and the Phoenix Force is pretty much taunting him the entire time. And it's, Phoenix is like, the Black Panther of my time was someone who wouldn't bow down to me, and he wouldn't stop at nothing. He wouldn't bow down to a god. He would find a way to crush him. And she's kind of taunting him the entire time. And I think,
what the fuck the crows of Sublime?
Yeah.
Like this dude just travels with crows? Maybe.
As the crow flies, I don't know.
Going through the time warp and
I actually
like how you just fucking derailed me, you dick. Talk about your stupid crows. Anyways, if you're reading Avengers, it's a good read. I think you're gonna see Black Panther get the Phoenix Force moving forward. What did you read? Anything else big you want to talk about this week, Al?
Nope, that's all I read.
No.
You know what they all come for? No, come on. You know what they all come for?
I know what they all come for. That's why I'm making them wait for it.
We're introducing.
Yeah.
Marco.
No, go ahead.
No. I'm making them wait for it. They're gonna wait for it. Black Cat #2.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic book.
Sorry, everybody.
It's the first you get to see her anti-venom symbiote costume.
Let's see it.
There's the cover for it.
Nice. Yeah.
And then on the second page,
basically what they do is they genetically alter strands of the anti-venom.
This happens.
They genetically alter strands of the anti-venom costume to make it to where she can go in and not be affected by Null. It is pretty cool. At the end, the big takeaway from this book though is the very last page where she has like a stick artifact that she rubs, and she's now apparently Asgardian.
Doesn't that always happen when she fucking rubs the power stick like that?
Yep.
Wow.
You become Asgardian apparently. So
the Phoenix Force thing.
She's breaking in to try to save Doctor Strange. There's a big thing with Doctor Strange going on. So, and then she becomes Asgardian at the end. So it's kind of weird the way they're doing Black Cat. I just brushed through that one, but pick up that Black Cat because I know what everyone wants to see. Everyone's here for him.
Everybody's here.
The bad boy on Flipside.
Hey, this
the
is
most
where
hated man
in
Star Wars.
Overflow.
Ben Roethlisberger of the dark side. Marco.
Hey,
Solo Wookiee. Yeah. The best beard in the game. Solo Wookiee.
No powers, Patrick. Jesus. All right. Hey. So there's a little bit of a hullabaloo coming out this week. If you missed it, I don't know how you missed it, but Frizen had a cover, and then people decided that a 6-tier first appearance to try to sell their other 25 copies that they FOC'd is worth $9. The end. No, actually, can we pull it up? So everybody,
that's it.
The
end.
That's what y'all came for.
Yeah. So this is the Bartlett 6 that was pretty hot. It's still doing okay, over 100, 120, somewhere around there. It's pretty cool. These variants for her are doing well. And then they put the Gen out there, and I don't know why. I don't know how people missed this. I didn't think we had to tell people not to miss this, but apparently we did, because the next cover 7 for their variant for their 125 was drum roll, please, Matt. Nope. Okay, excellent. So you guys have all seen it.
We're so prepared here.
Yeah, here we go. So that's the A cover on the left, and that's the B cover on the right. Obviously, the A cover the B cover is good. It really is a good cover. You knew it was going to be good. It's doing exceptionally well right now. Some of these Aphras are really looking good. The A cover's nice. You can't find them anymore, and we'll explain why later. So if we could get into some of the comic book, we'll do some Aphra explaining, because apparently a lot of people have ticked off JJ Maxwell because they're not actually reading the book. So we're going to fill you in. If we could go to our first slide here real quickly. They, at the beginning, do something that DC should do too. This kind of keeps you close so you can tell who the characters are and what's going to happen. Gives you a little summary page. obviously everybody refers to her as the Indiana Jones of space. She's more Indiana Jones of space if he stole stuff and sold it to people instead of like tried to. Well, Indiana Jones really didn't do anything, right? You can remove him from the storyline, and he's pointless. What's that?
Wouldn't she be like the Han Solo of space then?
She kind of is. She's the Han. She really is. She's the Han Solo who is more tech savvy than Solo, and she's just BA. Like she's a pretty cool.
What? Most people are more tech savvy than Solo.
Yeah, both Solo.
Fact.
But she also tries to. She has a background in finding artifacts and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. If you could go to the first page we have here, so we could show what happened in the book. So she goes back and she finds Santa, and for those people who don't know who she is, she was the lady who, back what was it, Star Wars number 5 in the Aaron run. I think I'm right on that. Somebody can correct me in chat if I'm wrong. I doubt I am. But she was the one who was supposed to be.
Chat that doubts Marco, the Ben Roethlisberger.
She was supposed to be. She says she was Han Solo's first wife to Leia, and we're not sure if that's true or not. They never really got to the bottom of it. One of the other characters that she has tagging around her. Now that she in 7, she just came back here to the Aphra stuff. She'd been dealing with Aphra and Leia before. She's a reoccurring character in the books. But in this 1 through 7, we also have somebody who keeps coming back. Just Lucky is the guy's name. He kind of sold her out one time and backstabbed her already. He works for different groups. He has a brother who has a gambling problem. Go down if you can, please. You get to see a lot of Canto bite, so I guess that really probably makes some Star Wars fans really happy. Could you go down?
Like this shot right here because this kid is about to get the back of his head cupped.
So that's a very interesting. So that has the big quote baddie during this time period is Tag, like the family, and they Tagge, Tagge, or whatever you want to call it. How if you haven't read the first 6, it's kind of interesting. I'm going to spoil it because that's what I do. But in the first 6, they have one of the cousins come out, and he's supposed to be this big shot who blows up artifacts and everything like that. Aphra pretty much kills him. So then the sister, who is the lead of the family, is out hunting her and puts out a bounty. Very interesting. There's a lot of characters in this that are tying over. If you're reading the current Bounty Hunter series, there's a lot of them that are tying back and forth to each other, including in one shot, they do show Valance in the background because he's being hunted too. Obviously, at this point, if you don't know, she is no longer friends with Darth Vader or working for Vader. She's being hunted by him too. She pretty much is being hunted by everybody at this point. She backstabs a lot of people. Very interesting. We might get into more Aphra later on to explain, because I think people are a little bit confused with this character. It is a really good character. And like I was saying on the top 10 the other day in chat, there's been a lot of cosplay at Celebration of her already. So you know that there's a lot of fans of hers. If you could go to the next slides, let's see what happens. I bet you there's some... Oh, there it is. Canto Bright, the little brother getting beat up. That's what he does. Oh, here's our character on the right. Wen is like a 6th, maybe 7th tier type character. That's all I'm going to say about that. So if you didn't get it for Undercover, I guess.
Bro, he's the leader of the 6th kin.
Yeah, which is like... That's like... yeah. Good luck with that. Go... Well, and also...
And his top knot is on point.
Right, but he's not even like after the main character. He's after like the level 4 character in this. Like the guy's name's Just Lucky, and he's after Just Lucky's brother. So like that's how far down the chain of command.
I was saying unlucky.
No, yeah, it is. Yeah, he really is. So that's just how far down the chain that guy is. We do get the White Worm, you know, of course, because they're in Coruscant and stuff like that. It's always cool. Always cool. We had,
you know, something's coming when you say White Worm.
Yeah, we had Dick hanging out at our wherever Dick was hanging out earlier. Now we got the White Worm down here. It's great, really cool. Also coming over from Bounty Hunter, probably around like Bounty Hunter 3. You've got the Unbroken Clan. They had a lot to do with that when he was originally different storyline, but it seems like they're crossing over a lot. This is actually the more interesting point about Aphra is it seems like they're giving her a link. They're moving the Vader link away, and they're kind of moving the link to Bounty Hunters closer into her backyard at this point. Because once you start getting into the Unbroken Clan, you start getting into Valance. Once you get into Valance, then you get into Boba Fett, Dangar, the Diaperhead, Bosk, and all them, which is very interesting.
Diaperhead.
Hey, where's the diaper on his head?
Not they're bandages. Jiminy Christmas.
How long do you need? The guys wore bandages for 120 years. How long do you need bandages?
If you continue to beat on Dengar, I'm going to bring up Star Trek again.
Diaper.
Oh, you like diaper head and you like Star Trek. That says a lot about you, not a lot about me. If you keep going down. So they're going to take off. The more important part about this book too is they're also bringing in another element. What she's actually searching for, why she went to the White Worm and a little bit else, is they're looking for the path engines. If those sound familiar, for those people that are reading High Republic or whatever, the Nile or Nihil in the Republic use those path engines. She's trying to find the technology for the path engines. So they're also doing a tie-in for the Nihil. Keep going.
Well, we got a Blue Green wants to know if she cameos in one of the upcoming shows. Which which one is it going to be? She was already in Mandalorian, wasn't she?
She died in Mandalorian. He's a real nice guy. That's what I'm thinking, right? Blue Green. I think that's what we're all hinting at here. If they're doing crossovers with some of the bounty hunters, she's having a lot of bounty hunter like back and forth stuff going on at this point. That may be a place where she could intermingle. Like you got Black Hay, who probably is going to show, who has a potential to show up in the Obi-Wan show, obviously, because it's in that timeline when he attacks Ben. But you also have got her crossing paths around the same time with a lot of the bounty hunters. And now we know that Boba Fett is in charge of the bounty hunters and a bunch of these guilds that she keeps interacting with. I would not be surprised. I don't think she's that close to it, but I would not be surprised if she does show up in one of the ones that she just dropped, that there's a very high likelihood that it could be that show. I do think it could probably be bounty hunters. It might be Obi too, but I would assume it would probably be bounty hunters. Next. So coming up, just so you know, there's a couple more 1 in 25s coming out. When you get 8, this is the regular covers on the left. It looks like they might actually be trying to find the Pathfinders at the end. Why I think this is important is because I believe that if you look at the way right, which is 9, that's the 1 in 25 for 9. She's holding something that may or may not contain data from the Nihil or the Nile. That might be very important. Just so you know, number 9 might be very important, which means if it's an important book, you should always pick up the preceding book. If you aren't reading this series, you probably should, because there's a lot of tie over and crossover to the other series from Star Wars in it. They're only on number 7 right now. Pick them up real quickly. As far as number 7, though, being like something to go after, I really do think that it was a situation like, look, it's 1 in 25, man. Somebody had to sell those cover A's, right? Like you had to sell them somehow. And it's a hell of a good idea telling people that there's a first appearance that might be nuts.
Man, I don't know about that face on this one though.
That's the A cover.
Yeah, I don't know about that A cover.
That the 1 in 25.
Behind me, I wouldn't be making a very good face either.
Yeah, 1 in 25 though. They do a lot of styles like that on the Aphra 1 in 25s and 1 in 10s that have come out.
That looks very Disney adventure-y.
They do mention it in 6. JJ is right. They mention it in 6. JJ, did we do all right here? Because I know he's upset. A lot of people aren't reading this book, so I just want to hook up my boy there and make sure that people knew what this book was about or this series about. It's a great series. Like I said, it ties in a lot of stuff. And yeah, they're tying in High Republic. They mentioned High Republic early on. They mentioned the Nil early on, and then of course with the White Worm, they bring up the Path engines. And if Ro, who's the leader of the Nil now, he's the one who his dad invented those Path engines. So that's going to be pretty interesting how they do that. It'll also be interesting if they incorporate that somehow into the Star Wars universe, because that would give certain people, maybe her, because I don't think she's going to turn it over, the ability to bypass the true hyper lanes, right? Like she'll be able to go anywhere in space she wants. So maybe that's a way that they explain why that you don't see her through most, because like her storyline right now is during, like this is going on during like Hoth, right? She, in the beginning of this series, she goes to Hoth, the base at Hoth and stuff like that. So she's in the main storyline. Vader's obviously still alive at this point and everything like that. So it'd be a way to explain how she can go place to place and avoid the Skywalker saga.
Nice.
I know you didn't get upset. I was just joking, bro. JJ didn't get upset. He was just like, does anybody read this? I think is what he said. And I saw it and I said, oh, I got to take care of my boy. Anyway, so The Ashley
answer to
Wood
that
cover-
question is no. Nobody reads it.
No.
They just flip it. Nobody reads it.
Oh, JJ reads it. And the Ashley Wood cover star in the original series. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, there's some great covers and there really is some great stories. Patrick knows it. Obviously, he reads it too. So nobody reads it. There's 2 guys who read it in here already. So you should add it to the reading list. Try to go back. Don't go out there. And listen.
I can say I read it too. Doesn't mean I do. Yeah,
but he mentioned the Ashley Witter covers, so he had to know that. Well, I guess he
just
could.
kidding.
I believe in Patrick. I would say it is good to go pick it up. Definitely, especially with the ones that are coming up now. I would not pay whatever the eBay is on that. Just wait a couple weeks. It'll be back down under. You can get it for under cover, or maybe not. Do whatever you want. But yeah, you can get it for under cover.
That's such promising advice there.
The current, you know what? So Joel's, we're actually doing some stuff. We're going to release, I think, within the next week, the last Vader book, and then we're going to continue that for monthly, so that you guys will get it covered in one of our shorts with the Star Wars stuff now. So we'll cover the Vader stuff because we do like it, and then when the arc ends, which should be coming up here soon, we will recap the entire arc for the Vader book. It's very good. They do introduce a lot of stuff in that too, which is interesting. I know a lot of people like that. The Bounty Hunter series is pretty good. A lot of these miniseries are pretty good. The Star Wars series as a whole sometimes is trying because they do the split book in that. But out of them, I'd have to say I like the Bounty Hunter book. I know that's not everybody's favorite. Vader, and then Aphra in that order, and then Star Wars after that. And that's pretty much all I have on this. I know that there's one, like a couple. Who was JJ? You have to say here. I know that there's one on like a couple issues behind, and 2 got them, but they're just sitting there. Light of the Jedi. Yeah, you got speed read Light of the Jedi, right? And that was a good book. It was a good novel. Hopefully, you guys checked out that review too. So, what issue does she steal?
Card saddle.
Who's the card you speak of? I've never heard of him before.
The Federation of Planets, right?
The 7th print. Oh, that 7-second printing. Yeah, it's a great cover. Speaking of Vader 3, they just hit another record on that Vader 3. And Aphra, that Aphra just hit there's a big note for the variant for that one, which is weird because that variant is the inside art. Like if you're not reading Aphra, or if you didn't read Vader back then, like everybody's like, why would that be on the cover? I don't know actually why either, because it's part of the interior art of the book, where the A cover in the cover changes are a little bit cleaner. I do know this, like people look, man, I'm always obviously we haven't been able to see what's going on at cons this year, but I'm always go to cons and see what's being cosplayed. And this is a character for years now that has been cosplayed. So that's not a bad thing.
So are they alluding to the Nile? I've been around.
No, because she goes after artifacts and stuff like that. They're just saying that the engines are there. She actually did fly she did actually fly in a High Republic ship though, which was weird. There was one that she found that she flew in, but she gets all types of like antiques and artifacts. So I think that's kind of how they're playing into that. But no, they're not saying that it's around till 0. No, not yet, Eric. Okay. Yeah.
So he sensed it right after John's comment.
Yes.
About the card saddle.
So now that we talked about new comics,
they're saying that she's definitely a character they've invested in.
Yeah. I mean, they are. There definitely is. It's kind of interesting because everybody's like Star Wars collectors are going after books and stuff like that. And if you've been to like certain Star Wars events, like celebrations and stuff, they don't really have comic books there ever because it's never been a big part of the Star Wars like collection market, right? Like it's not something like they would. Star Wars collectors will pick them up and read them, but it's not like us who are comic book collectors first, and then we get whatever we're fandom of, like this or G.I. Joe or something like that. It's never been huge in the celebration market or the little marquee Star Wars markets. So I wonder what's actually going to happen with that. But seeing those characters being played out, like Aphra was the first one I remember that came strictly out of comics, where people were like, okay, cool. They're not even selling Aphra stuff at the location, and there's people dressed up with, which was very interesting. And now that's been a couple of years.
Is Bilbo from the future, or am I just misunderstanding his question or his comment? I had a 1 in 25 for Vader 3. Got off the rack and CDC 9.8. It sold it early 2029 for $350.
What is he saying?
Sure,
No, 2019. I think is what I think he just put an extra 2 in there. Yeah, sold it early in 2019. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Bilbo. You should. I mean, it was the interior. I can see what he's saying though, because it was like it was a 1 in 25 and it was interior art. Like who holds onto a book that's 1 in 25 in interior art? But if you did, yeah, I mean, but if you believed in the character, you did, and you're going to be doing okay here in the future. There's a main character Tarkin talks about. I can't read the comments. Somebody's got to say something because I can't do both read comments and do this.
And I mean, you go solo Wookiee, talk Star Wars, bud. Show us what you know. Don't just stand there. Don't just sit there looking dapper.
When I started, I didn't think Aphra was going to be the character. I'm surprised that she's held on for this long. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. A lot of her new stuff I still have not read. I finally got frustrated with the way everything was going because I had forgot some of it. So I went back and I started reading. I'm over halfway through the first volume of Vader again to understand better. Just because it'd been a little bit and I had just forgotten and missed some of the books. So I'm getting a lot more of the backstory again, and it makes a lot more sense now to me reading it, a second time and really making sure I'm diving deeper and paying more attention to it and the story and how it carries out. The first go around, I really thought they were going to kill her off and it was just going to kind of be a done deal. And so I think it's really cool that the way that they're keeping her in. I don't know that we're going to see any live action Aphra for a while. I mean, I hate to be a pessimist.
I think we'll see her before we see a Darth Revan.
So we just got two of the same question in the chat. Blue Green asks, casting for Aphra ? And then Ride or Die asks, who would y'all cast for Doctor Aphra?
Okay, that's not where I
that's not where you shine.
Yeah,
that's not where you're
casting people isn't my forte. I can hardly name the character. I mean, I can hardly pronounce the characters' names correctly in the books. So, like, if you want me to start trying to remember actresses' names, come on, get out of here with that. Yeah, I know, but you can't do her. No, and not dorky enough. Like, you have to have it a little bit dorky. Or I think then Mon, who, I mean, I'd like to cast her in a lot of, like, saying that she is of geekdom, you know what I mean? She came up through G4 and everything like that. So I always like to have fans be casted in characters that they would be fans of. You know what I mean? So Joe Pesci, okay. Yeah, maybe
Danny DeVito.
No, it's cool. I'm glad that I don't see Dr. Aphra as coming to. I think you're right. I think we'll see her before we see some other stuff. Very much so. I think we're still easily 2 to 3 years out before you're going to ever see anything Dr. Aphra. And I could totally be wrong. I mean, they may just they may just decide to punch it, especially if we start seeing cons again. I think that we're definitely going to see a lot more cosplay of Aphra. I think that the fanfare for Aphra is huge. And I think that the con response is what really fuels a lot of that. So with them not being able to see that kind of response from the fans, I don't know that anyone's sitting at home keyboard warrioring Disney to do a Dr. Aphra live thing. I could totally be wrong.
They got 1 in 25s going out for number 9 in this book.
Doctor.
They have that means there's a decent amount of people that are ordering at least 25 copies of what's supposed to be a minor character in a glimpse. Like, this is reminiscent of other stuff that happened in the Marvel universe where people were overlooking small characters like, oh, I don't know, Miss Marvel or stuff like that. It is very reminiscent of that. There is a lot of fanfare on this one because it won a war too. The history behind this character, when they tried, some people said they didn't want this character around. I think that this is something they've been planning for a while, and they're just waiting for the right time. And now that in the books they're linking her over, like there's a lot of characters. Somebody put it up here and it said something to the effect that, is she linked to a lot of characters or something to that effect? She is. And also the one thing that they did do is they put the book out with her too, where it was the complete audiobook. You can't actually get it. And that did pretty well also. So they know there's a big fan base for this already, because that book came out like a year ago. They know there's a big fan base for this already. I think the fan base isn't the question. The question is how they're going to fit it and mold it in. And if they're going to give her a marquee spot, or which I think they're going to do instead, is introduce her in a couple of different, almost like cameos in different movie or different TV shows across the board, and then bring it back in from there. And I think that's probably sounds more likely what they're going to do. They'll just cameo her in certain areas, and then the next thing you know, she might do a spin-off to have her own spin-off.
I honestly think you're going to see, I know Blue Green just said something about the video games. I think you're going to see a lot of these characters show up in the video games before you see them show up in live action stuff.
You think you're going to have her in a video game? Oh, well, I mean, hey, look, they're doing that open world thing now, right? Like, I don't know if you guys, Matt, you brought this up before, and we were supposed to do it last week. They brought up that, they're not just doing the EA stuff. They're going to keep that stuff, but they're also working on doing an open world thing. And I think when you start doing that, you're going to see a lot of these characters revive, because if you can do open world, kind of like when you played back through Old Republic and stuff like that, you're going to be able to introduce all these characters kind of like they do on the mobile games, and you'll be able to have a lot of choices. And I think they can base a lot of it off of that also. But I do think that they're going to, to see some of the gaming people like Star Killer and stuff like that before you see a Doctor Aphra. No, I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong.
Can we see her in like Fallen Order 2?
I would, yeah. I mean, you could definitely see her in a Fallen Order 2. Yeah, for sure. But that's just one more step, right? Now you've already got a book out for her that did pretty well. You've got her in comics. If you could do a full novel on her and have her in a video game, I think you're going to get pretty close to that's when it's knocking on the door. If they don't have her cast already, they might pull her out. I think you'll get a lot of that. I mean, I think you're going to get a lot more with this storyline, how it's going and linking with everything else. The Star Wars boards are kind of interesting because they've started to really get into looking for some of the comics, especially with the High Republic stuff. They're starting to actually get into looking to see if they can finish it because they like the storyline and they want the storyline to happen. If that happens and High Republic gets mentioned in a book, i.e. Doctor Aphra, and all of a sudden they start going after this run because they want to finish the run because they want it to be a run. They want to read the run, right? And this has direct impact on that. Then yeah, I think there will be an upcry for that character, just like you saw with Ahsoka Tano, just like you've seen with Bo, just like you've seen with a couple of the other characters who, Tano was a big character, right? And Exley had a lot to do with that, but like Bo and a couple of
that kind of enforces my point. How long was it? We had a huge uprising for Ahsoka for a long time. How long was it before you saw her live action? It's now 2020 in live action, and a lot of people cried for her for quite a while.
Right, but what were you going to put her in?
Yeah, what were you getting live action for her to be in?
The Force Awakens or?
Yeah, but what are you going to put Aphra in? You're just going to throw her in an Obi-Wan story where it's talking about his journals when he's walking around on Tatooine?
Creepily looking at Luke Skywalker from binoculars.
For everybody that read the journal or read the trade paperback that came out, we do know that Black Hay ends up in that storyline, and he actually knocks out and tries and actually almost does he knock out Luke? He might not knock out Luke, but he definitely knocks out Ben.
He takes out Obi-Wan.
Bernie, a little bit of a freak. So he's reading some sex criminals. That's what Bernie's reading, some sex criminals.
So, you're saying what could it be? If they go the journal route, you've already introduced Black Hay there, which is the Wookiee that's usually around with her through a lot of it, just backstabbed her recently. But besides that, he's there, so you've already got a link there. If you do...
Yeah, but he's not in any of those books. that takes definitely some creative writing. I'm not saying they
Who isn't in any of those books? Who isn't in any of those books?
Aphra. She's not in there when Obi-Wan and Black Constantin have their little duel. She's not around there. They could
right. Well, we don't not in the journals, but you don't know. But that's around the same timeline, and we do know that they're playing with each other, so you don't know how they'll do that in live action. What's that?
Careful.
Yeah, I know that was close.
I personally don't see him playing her in that role in that point. I just don't see it. I think we're at least 2 years out before we see Aphra, and I could totally be wrong.
Well, I mean, who knows when they'll finally release. I'm not saying she's showing up in Obi-Wan. I'm saying if you see Black K in Obi-Wan, you know she's coming. Like, these are the signs that she's coming. Because why else would you do that? Like, why else would you introduce that? Vader 1, by the way, is the book for that guy. But why else would you do it? You're going to have to do it to introduce her. She's a strong female character that is very popular in the Star Wars universe.
Speaking of introductions and strong female characters, let's talk about some WandaVision.
There you go.
All right. WandaVision episode 3 came out this week. Any guys pick up some Easter eggs in episode 3?
There were some interesting ones. You know, I know a lot of the stuff that got retconned in the 80s. There were some cool ones from that. There's some cool things they did for that. You know, they did the Brady Bunch thing, right?
No.
Yep.
Try again.
Wasn't Brady Bunch?
No,
was
try
Brady
again.
They did do Brady Bunch in here. That staircase is straight up Brady Bunch.
Partridge Family.
That's what I thought originally too.
Okay, whatever. So out of the 80s, this is definitely off the cover. They did this. This is when she was like having the hot flashes or whatever, and everything was screwing up in the kitchen.
Hot flashes.
Is that what she's having? I don't know. I've never had a kid before.
Usually hot flashes come when you're no longer able to have kids.
Whatever.
Pause.
But yeah, so this was take off. This is kind of cool that they did this. It's kind of funny because they retconned a lot of this 80s series, right? And then they did a lot of throwbacks to it in this series and in the series, totally. But in this episode 2, they did a little thing with the names too, where she was playing the name game, where she did is it Tommy, and they only had one, and then no, it was Tommy and what's his name, whoever Wiccan and Speed's real names is. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, Billy and William and Tommy. Yeah.
Well, no, it was Billy and Tommy, which was the play, and then one kid coming out first. That was kind of fun too. What else was fun on that? I gotta say, this episode was pretty good. I know a lot of people started turning on this episode. A lot of people thought, I don't know what you guys thought about this episode, but I heard a lot of good things with this episode too after I watched it. I asked a lot of people just to tell me what they thought about it, and they're like, well, it was the best one so far, and it actually was pretty entertaining. Even if it was the Partridge Family and not. They did the 3x3 square though.
They meshed kind of both of them.
Yeah.
I got like the intro was more of a with the way they did the hippie color stuff was more Partridge Family. And then I think the staircase and then the swing set and stuff all reminded me of Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
You guys haven't ever watched the Partridge Family, have you?
Well, okay. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are saying it's a combination of the two, too, in the chat.
Yeah, they each episode they span different shows. Like you can see that they take bits and pieces from different shows of that time.
Yeah, the backyard was very Brady Bunch-esque. Very. I
think when you watch all 3 episodes together, I think it's safe to say that you can definitely tell that, you know, Wanda, this is going on in her head. Sword is trying to snap her out of it. And that's who you hear on the radio in episode 2 is who's doing this to you. I think Sword is clearly trying to snap her out of it. And that's why Geraldine is sent in there and nobody really knows who she is, or that she has no home, as they say in this issue, because they sent her in there to try and snap Wanda out of this because she's starting to affect reality.
Yeah, no, that's cool because she's also wearing that necklace, right? Which is the sword. She had the sword necklace on it, didn't she?
Necklace on.
Oh, so this is the other book. Yeah, it was kind of cool because in the 80s, that's when she did, like, in this book, she does the, what if it's a boy? Can we name it? Was it Tommy and the other one Billy? Yeah. Well, if we have 2, we can name it Billy. So that was kind of cool to have the throwbacks to the.
So yeah, and that birth scene and her like advancing her pregnancy so quickly are straight out of this issue. Like that was well adapted.
That's really cool. It's kind of cool because they're doing the throwback to the TV shows and they do the throwback to this book, which is kind of dope.
And if you kind of remember what we talked about last week,
12. So
in the issue in the opening credits for episode 2, when Vision's coming through the floor, there's Grim Reaper. You see his helmet under the floor. So that's cool.
Oh yeah,
And then-
it's right there on 12 too. He's right there on number 12. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Great catch.
And then, of course, you got the twins, Thomas and William, who become
Wiccan and Speed.
Wiccan and Speed. Thank you. Yes.
Well, when they change it, so when they retcon Timmy and or whatever, it becomes Thomas, and Billy becomes William, and then it becomes Wiccan and Speed.
Well, Tommy is short for Thomas, and William is yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I get what you're saying. But no, but would they like made a big deal about it in the 81, and then when they changed it in retcon, they made the difference calling it not Tommy anymore and Tom and stuff like that. If you
Well, the only thing they really changed in the comics is their last names, because they were Maximoff, and then when they were separated, when Mephisto took his stuff back,
speaking of
his essence back, and the kids were disintegrated, and then they were reincarnated into other people. And then their birth is such a convoluted, twisted knot of craziness of how they work back to being her kids. It's just yikes.
Yeah, I mean, which is kind of the show's crazy too. I mean, look, it's cool because I did like the part where they said like she's not from here, and then it looked like the neighbors were gonna leak it out, and Vision started to catch on to what was going on. And I think next episode we're gonna obviously have a breakthrough moment. If you can watch this.
Eric, right here. So is Ralph Mephisto? Yes, I think he is, because she references him constantly, but you don't see him, and I think he is Mephisto. I want to go.
They're talking about the Vision book. Yeah.
No, they're talking about in the show.
Yeah. I know.
In the show, her like friend, who's like seems to be like the know-it-all of Westview, always references her husband Ralph, but you don't see him. And she makes the comment in this one, I always like Ralph looks better in the dark. And
no. I was talking about
and she's the same one that makes a comment in episode 2, when she says the devil's in the detail. Right. She leads forward to Wanda and says that's not the only place he is. So she makes a lot of
dropping a lot of hints.
Yeah, a lot of hints towards it.
No, I think that Mephisto is definitely a solid at this point.
Is Viv dead spec now?
I think it's just solid.
That's what I was kind of answering, was that one, not
okay.
Gotcha. You're talking about.
So you wanted to touch on this a little bit.
Yeah, so this is a book. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a 9.4. I have a couple 9.2s, a 9, and then a couple raw copies. But was buying them a couple years ago for about 100 and under. And now you see this at the 9.4. I think it's not just, this is a recent sale, obviously, on Friday the 22nd. Man, hope you guys were ready for this, because it looks like it's going to be, I think that's when people are asking, is it Manifesto or whatever? Yeah, like I think it is. And I think that the market's kind of telling us that it is too, which would accumulate that Viv is dead. That's a lot. That's a lot for a book, man. That's a lot for that book too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot for that book.
I'm not touching that book ever. It's out of my. Silver Surfer's no longer in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, Silver Surfer's kind of been picking up over the last couple of years, anyhow. But this is just. This was not my book, Joseph. This was not my book. I don't have that high of a grade in it, but man, I wish I did, because not exactly where I expected him to show up to. Was that, I expected there to be some more Silver Surfer, like something Silver Surfer at this point. But I'll take it. I will take it.
So right now, though, right now where it stands, with all the moving and shuffling that they're doing of Marvel movies again, Spider-Man 3 has not been moved yet. But Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, was moved to 2022. It was pushed out to 2022.
Nice, Jody.
So now I think it's without question Mephisto, because I think it's gonna lead into that. It's gonna start here, carry over into Spider-Man, where he makes the deal with Peter for the whole one more day thing, and then Strange is gonna fix it all in Multiverse of Madness. So
yep. Then Noah gave us one too. The apple. Yep. Is about fruit knowledge. The devil. Mm-hmm.
So there's the sword necklace that he's referring to, and it's interesting because she's getting into the whole speech where she's telling her about Quicksilver. She's telling her about Pietro, and then when Monica, or whatever you want to reference her in her, because I think we all know this is Monica Rambeau had grown up, right? And somebody and Geraldine and the show, and somebody asked me, how is that Monica Rambeau? She'd be a kid. Remember, Captain Marvel's set in the 90s. And then there's so you have the 90s, then all of the events leading up to Infinity War, and then Endgame. This takes place right after Endgame, and then you've got that 5-year time jump in Endgame. So she's going to be an adult. So it makes sense that this is Monica Rambeau.
Hey, this is kind of cool. Blue-green. Good one. If you're east of Eden, west of Westview. That's kind of cool, man. That's awesome, dude. That good one, blue-green.
But yeah, so she's talking about her brother, and then that's when she sees a necklace, and she's like, where did you get that necklace? And she asks him about, him dying through Ultron and all that. So
the actress did a really good job in that scene too, man. It was a little creepy. I won't lie, man. When she started kind of going off in her little tangent and just explaining and talking, and it was a little bit creepy. And then she kind of snaps out of it, and I don't know. I wasn't saying nothing. It was well played. She did a good job.
Yeah, it's definitely heating up.
So I'm going to touch on this right now. What link does the commercial they had about being a goddess reference? Glad you asked that, because here it is. Find the goddess within. So this is possibly a reference to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4. Coulson, if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Coulson references Hydra's mind control soap. It also supports a retcon that they could transform Wanda into a mutant or a sorceress in the MCU. It was first seeded in Marvel Studios, the visual documentary. They say that she may be called Scarlet Witch, but also that Wanda's powers are not derived from that. Whether it's altered or merely unlocked something latent inside her with, the Mind Stone, Loki's staff.
That's deep, man. I totally thought it was a reference to Marco.
Right?
I thought for sure Marco's using the Hydra soak. He's like, it's a bubble soap.
It's possible that the Mind Stone did not grant Wanda her powers, but unlocked her latent ability, her mutant ability, referencing Find the Goddess Within. So
I think do mutants now is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. So
they should sell these products like in real life, like the watch with the little Hydra on the bottom, and the box of Hydra soak with the little Hydra, octopi in the back and everything. They'd make a fortune.
So, and then that was the last big one. Then, Sword's role in all this, like, I think they're, like I said, they're clearly there to figure out what's going on and try to get her out of it and why everything's happening with her. And I think they're definitely taking over that S.H.I.E.L.D. role moving forward. So
yeah, especially like if you're going to move into space, like we know or think they are, you have to have the new S.H.I.E.L.D. and of space, and that's what Sword is. So that's pretty cool. I like that. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff.
And I think I kind of get that feeling that it's going to be that next evolution of the Sokovia Accords from Captain America Civil War to kind of pushing that forward. So
cool. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, it was definitely a good episode. I just saw, I'm just reading some of the chat. It looks like everybody was pretty, the first 2 episodes, it was a little, there were some people who were, hey, I'm going to stick with this. And but this episode, I think, changed a lot of people's minds. It looks like it's turning for the right way. So that's always good for stuff to turn for the right way. I think so. Star Shield. I don't know what that means. All right, cool.
Someone said, read or die, are all these commercials for bad memories? I think they are. Yeah. I think they all tie into her memories, because whenever she doesn't like something, it alters. Like, and I like that. Like at the end of the second episode. Yeah. Well, at the end of the second episode, she sees the beekeeper and she says no and rewinds it.
Right.
Yeah. In this one, Vision said something that she doesn't like, and it's like a blip, and he says it over again.
Well, he was trying to catch on to something. It looked like,
Yeah.
Then,
And you could tell he's definitely catching on to what's going on, and that something's hit him amiss, and that when the neighbors are all talking outside, and she's like, "What is she doing here? Why is she here?" And he asks if Geraldine's inside with Wanda. It's those people in the commercials could be her parents too, because it's the same actor and actresses in every commercial. So that's another theory, is that those are her parents. So
who's running that account? Oh,
that's
Brian?
probably McClay.
Hey, Brian, good to see you.
I don't even know who runs these accounts anymore.
Yeah. You can put him up there. He said those people in the commercials are her parents. That's cool.
Yep.
That could be. Yep, very good.
But what did you think overall, Kyle?
This one was better. This is the one that, yes, I'm on the first two. I was on the fence. This is the one that kind of is bringing me back to, okay, I'm really wanting to see where this goes and what happens, and if it plays out like we think it is. So, and finally, we're start seeing a little bit more of the outside of what, what I mean? Like, like at the end when it was all in that whole like camp fucking militarized, like now we're starting to get a glimpse of what, like
why
where they are.
Why did they pull up? Yeah. No, I think he's starting to get into it, Joseph. I think he's finally starting to. He was one of the doubters in the beginning. I think he's. Why, if they thought it was her, why were they pulling weapons out on her when she hit the camp that we assume is like a combination of shield and sword? Do we know that reason, or are we just guessing that it's going to come out next time?
I think they're just pulling weapons because of something came out of it, and they're not sure what's going on. But I don't. Was that even sword that was pulling weapons on her?
Yeah, I mean that's why. After this one, after the last two, I was kind of like, okay, can we get to something? After this one, I have lots of questions, and not like big questions, not like who's the big bad going to be, or if stuff's going down. Like it's more like, why was the camp there? What is it? Are they going to go more towards the older books? Like that was the stuff I started getting in. Like you said, who was in the commercials? Those kind of things where you're getting into the small details. And like he said, like Noah said, Noah's doing good. Noah, great stuff, man. Keep it up. Slow burn, all good, very refreshing and new. And I like that. I do like, every once in a while we don't have to binge everything, right? And I kind of like that they are doing the slow burn in this, which is kind of cool. I know not everybody likes that. I get it. But then you can just tune out and then tune back in later when everybody's already spoiled it for you. So those are her parents. Not sure about that. And if you grew up. Okay, what else? Anything else?
Jody says Disney was smart to release the first 2 episodes at once. So when they got 2 weeks, 2 people who were on the fence, Kyle would get pulled in.
Yeah. No, that was smart, especially because they had to have that buy-in for it too.
I think if they would have done episode 1 and then episode 2 a week later, I think you're right. I think a lot of people would have been like, nah.
Yeah, this way it only took them 1 week to get up, and they were 30 minutes, which was nice, so that you get sucked in for an hour instead of having 2 half-an hours. And that would.
I meant to look at the runtime on this one because this one felt a lot shorter than 30 minutes.
I think it was the actual run time without. I think it was 32 something total. So yeah, you're probably right. It's probably like 20 minutes.
6 minutes.
I think it's only 3 minutes shorter than the first one or number 2. Yep. Jody has a really good point. Oh, chat loves Jody. Maybe we should have Jody on here. The way that people like.
But the only thing in my issue with this is that for everyone who wants something Marvel, have been looking for Marvel, this is not a good jumping on point if you're just trying to get into this whole universe. Like I feel like it's such a hard jumping on point.
29 minutes. Is that 29 minutes full runtime? Sorry, somebody's saying it's 29 minutes. Is that 29 minutes full, or is that just?
I think including credits and everything, the whole show was 33 minutes.
So actual content was like 29.
Yeah.
All right, Joel. Thanks. Joel changed the name to Jody, so good job, Joel. Either way. Somebody else put a comment here, though, that you said it's not a good jumping on point. He said that, or somebody said that their girlfriend hadn't watched anything in Marvel, or wife, I can't remember what they said, and said that this was actually their first introduction, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's pretty cool. 32 minutes, so it's 29. Okay. Everything, it's 29. Okay, they keep going back.
Mine did not. She said that if she was watching it without me or someone there to explain it, she'd be so fucking lost that she wouldn't want to watch any more of it.
Right, I understand that.
My girlfriend won't watch it anymore. After the first two, she said, "I'm out."
Well, people have different tastes. Maybe if McFarlane was in it, they'd like it a little bit better, I guess. I don't know. You know, whatever.
It's a little different. It's not. They didn't do it how they do other Marvel stuff. Like I made this point last week was like Mandalorian. You don't need to be a huge Star Wars fan to enjoy it.
Yeah,
kind of just watch it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
WandaVision isn't quite the same way.
Well, Eric asks if he wonders if it's Wanda controlling it. Yeah, go ahead. So how it would work is technically Mephisto would give her the ability to do it, kind of like she would be doing it. She would actually be running it, but it would be under the dream of him, so that everything's kept into place, kind of. That's what the theory is. And then eventually it shatters. So it's like a wish, like the forbidden apple thing they were talking about earlier. Should be Sword on the situation. Cool. Yeah, she should be Sword on the situation. That would be cool to see Sword in the next one. That's cool. Yeah. All right. I can live with that.
Well, yeah, because in the comics, she uses Mephisto's life essence to give twins life in her whole like illusion.
Right.
And then when he reabsorbs and basically wipes him out of existence, she loses her mind, and that's when she like shatters reality. And it's like I said, that whole like twins thing is just so like
convoluted,
rabbit holed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how they work their way back to her and the reincarnation, and it's just.
Well, here it is.
Back and forth on it's terrible.
There he goes, the fourth horseman, CC. There he is. His girlfriend's so curious to figure it out. Yeah, that it's nice to have something that you don't know the ending to. Too, I think it's.
I think that's one of the appeals of the show, though, is like the mystery behind what's going on. But still, if you're trying to understand it from like watching MCU movies, or if this is your first introduction to anything like MCU related, you're going to be lost. And there's
not as much water cooler talk about this show.
Mm-mm. Well, yeah. I think there will be, but I don't think we're going to see or hear
from
any
6 feet apart
until
keep that social distance talk. It's all good.
I think once it's over, or once it's at the end, and you can kind of watch the whole thing, because there's so much that's not going to be told or explained until over halfway through it. It makes the first part of it really hard to watch. So if you can't binge it, it's not going to turn a lot of people on. They're going to be like, I'm not watching it and waiting.
Jody, I think it's because they didn't know what was coming out of the portal or who it was, so they approached it with caution.
Or it could be a short sword and shield thing too. That it could be shields outside and she's with sword shield. Yeah.
Well, shield doesn't exist anymore because it was dismantled.
Yeah.
That was all taken up by Hydra. Yeah. So
in the 60s? Whatever, hell Hydra. All right, whatever. It's too late for me to even think at this point.
But yeah, because it was dismantled.
Can't even watch the show.
Better. I just think that we're not. I don't think it'll be good. I don't think people will really enjoy it until the end, and they can go back and binge it and watch the whole thing and get kind of a quicker, easier story out of it.
It's fun. Like I said last week, it's fun for us as comic book fans because we just finding the Easter eggs, man, and searching it up, and in couple, it's got rewatched just for the Easter eggs alone. But
it would next week will be the 80s. That would be fun. I also saw. I don't know if you guys saw the Peg Bundy, Al Bundy, Vision, WandaVision.
Yeah,
that would be kind of hilarious. I think that'd be hilarious if they did a Bundy's type scenario.
Family ties. Yep.
Family ties.
They did
They're gonna do a Roseanne probably.
They are going to do Roseanne apparently.
Yep, Roseanne.
So
I like to see Miami Vice. That'd be great.
All right. Hey, listen. If you guys are looking for back to Star Wars real quickly, but for a second, if you're looking for some of the archive figures, I know they're doing a lot of resets. So black figures and archive figures are hitting your big chains. Go out there and hunt them real quickly. Picked up a couple of the old Thrawns, just so you know. These guys that are coming back out of the archive series. And these guys are, if you go to Wally World, you might be able to score one of these for $2 because they're such a popular character. If not, you can go to your famous Target and get them for $5. So go out there and hunt for those things because
you're playing with that in the bath tonight, aren't you?
Luke will make you cry.
With his Hydra soap.
Oh man, you could be in there and you can have him train you must, and you could try to get him to fucking use the force to get
lift the X-wing.
Hey.
Lift the X-wing out of the water. Yep, he totally recreates it.
There you go. But just so you know, they're doing a lot of toy resets. So if you're looking for any type of toy too, I know that wrestling figures have been hard to find. Obviously, the Black Series and stuff has been hard to find too. So check your local over the next week or so. If they haven't done the resets this week already, because most of them were doing the resets this week, you'll see them coming for the chains. So that's your PSA for the day in toys.
There you go.
All right.
Make sure to check out Marco's new YouTube channel, Bath Time Blues.
That's right. And make sure you're watching the channel for Pete stuff. He did something on muscles for all you fans of the 80s. Yeah, the muscles. Yeah, the little muscle characters.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
The little pink ones.
Yeah, and they had color variants for all of them and everything like that. He shows you some of the rare stuff out there, like the belt wrestling ring case and stuff like that. It's not going to spoil. It's a short video. Go to the channel, check it out real quickly. Pete Vision, I believe, is his station. So that's really cool to check that stuff out there.
Good stuff.
All right.
Great show.
Bernie, what's up, bro? Looking good. Still warm, huh? Mm-hmm. You know he's destroying all those books. I hate leaners.
Kyle, Solo, Marco, do you guys got anything else you want to do this week? Touch on, talk about?
For those that want to stay up tomorrow, we have a Clone Wars review. I don't know. That's all I got. Kyle, you got anything? No. Nothing?
Come talk Clone Wars tomorrow.
Yeah, Clone Wars. We're doing the movie, so watch it really quickly during the daytime. McClay's coming in. We must have gotten too many bad emails about stuff. Yeah. So
show ends.
That's the Clone War movie real quickly before we get disconnected and they take off our service. All right, thanks. I'm out. Later.
We got JJ wants to know what time tomorrow, Marco.
We're gonna do it 9 EST, I think. So follow us on the Instagrams at Tales from the Dark Side _ PDCST. Maybe.
PDSCT.
There you go. Solo Wookie. That's why we have you here. Check that out. We'll put out a reminder early in the morning so that you guys can check it out. So you'll have more than enough time to watch that and get some sleep tonight. So please get your sleep, rest up, watch some WandaVision.
Absolutely. There you go.
Blue Green, good to see you. Eric, Patrick, whole chat. You guys were great again today. No, good stuff. Joe or Jordy, whatever. Also too good. Yep, two different names.
Yes. So real quick before we leave, we are looking for chat moderators for this show. If you want to try out to be a chat moderator, hit us up on our IG, Modern Comic Mayhem. Send us a direct message. Just say, I'm interested in being a moderator, and we'll give you a tryout 1 week. But yeah, make sure you guys are checking out all the shows on this channel. And the chat's great as always. Hit that like button if you had a good time tonight. Hit that subscribe button if you're loving the content. Check out more from Marco and Solo tomorrow night on their Clone Wars review. Check out more from McClay and the rest of the Flipside guys on Monday nights. Make sure to check out Comic Book Women on Tuesdays. Check out Ultra's Wednesday Warrior show on Wednesdays and the Hot 10 on Fridays. And guys, that's it for this week's episode of Modern Comic Mayhem. We will see you guys.
Noah, check out the Old Fashioned. It's great.
Okay.
We'll
see you guys next Saturday. And remember, if you want to take part in the top 5 books that elude you, hit us up on IG, send us your videos or your list, and we'll read them next week. What, Kyle?
In honor of Marco, I want everybody to send in their videos of them in the bathtub telling us.
Yes.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Please do that.
Please have extra bubbles.
You guys sniff too many bath salts.
All right. You guys have a great, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go Pack Go tomorrow, and we'll see you guys next weekend.